Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. I was on some CP time. Lord have mercy. Must be because the weather changing. I apologize, but I'm here now. Anywho, y'all already know what time it is. Y'all saw the thumbnail. What you think? Before we get into it, let's turn to though. Giving a few people some chance to get in. Remember, I do not own the rights to this song. This is Tony Terry, and it's the remix. Y'all know how I like that go-go. And I know you won't play, no. Girl, I know the spots that'll make you hot, maybe ready or not. Y'all get up in here. Girl, I know the place is within your place. Tell me that you're on your way. And hopefully the music is playing. Y'all know me, I be messing up when I be trying to play music. These social media channels got me all discombobulated, acting like I'm trying to make a dime off their music. As y'all see at the bottom, Facebook don't come for me. I do not own the rights to this song for educational purposes only. It's a gap filler. Yes, I bought this song, so don't come at me like that. Ray News Sartorius is in the building. Was Poppy King? He said, I'm at work watching the Queen Miss C. Hello, gorgeous. Hello to you too, sir. You shaking a tail feather, Ray News? Can you hear the music? This remix right here was off the chain. Come Take me back to my DC days in the go-go clubs. Where I would be on that dance floor like 4 hours straight. Ray Newsett got me dancing on my helo. I hear you, Ray New. I'm over here shaking the tail feather too. Where my keys and queens at? Y'all remember you could call in, you could be in the chat, you could beam in. I come on Monday through Friday at 7:30 every day, and I end about an hour and a half in, maybe 2 hours. You know, that's all depending on what I got to put out and how I feel that day. But all you got to do is make sure you remember Monday through Friday, 7:30, unless the sister is on some kind of CP time, which I can be on CP time from time to time. Yeah, Facebook, don't do me greasy. Let us enjoy. Remember, I don't own the rights to this music. That was for educational purposes only. Welcome back. Welcome back. Woo. I love go-go music. I'm telling you. I know I'm from African descent. Because I love percussionist instruments. And when you put them all together, I don't know about your high school bands, but my high school band will break out and go in a minute. But that's what you get when you're from a place like DC, Maryland, or Virginia. And I'm from Virginia. I'm from the Vats. As a matter of fact, I was just home not that long ago. Up there for my niece's baby shower, and then she had her baby right after I left. He's such a darling. We have a new prince in the family. He's so handsome. I can't wait to go see him. But every time I'm driving, I don't know if you guys feel this way. And you probably can only feel this way if you ever had to live away from your home. But whenever I go back home, no matter where I am, I still claim Virginia. I identify as a Virginian and everything. And when I go home and I cross that state line, my blood get warm. When I'm coming from out of North Carolina and I'm crossing, oh my God, when I see that welcome to Virginia sign, my blood get warm, for real. And I don't understand it. Like, my kids are military brats, so they don't really claim nothing. And that I feel sorry for, but shit, I'm a Virginia all day, every day. Virginia over here. But y'all know we do a water check. I didn't do that great today. Had about 7 waters. I slept most of the day. I don't know. It's starting to get warm outside, and naps are starting to be real good in the spring. Ain't nothing like a good nap in the spring. Today was what I'm gonna call a nap day. I'm gonna go on and call it. Off and on. I didn't mean to sleep. I just sitting there or laying there and I dipped off into a nap. You get a little old, these I'll appreciate naps. I don't know how old I was. I was probably in my 20s. I hated naps growing up. I hated them. But especially at school and your mama make you take a nap. She was like, I used to tell her, I remember when I first got grown, and I said, let me tell you another thing. When you used to make us take naps, I didn't go to sleep. I hated naps. You know what her comeback was to me? I don't give a shit. You was quiet. And I said, huh. That was the whole reason. Here I'm thinking you trying to, it's a reason. I was like, why do adults love to make a kid take a nap? You need them to sit down somewhere and be quiet. So that they can rest up and be ready for your ass for the rest of the time during the day. But I didn't like naps. I hated them. But when I came into the Navy and that first month straight of some arduous work, this was before I was 25. I was like, oh shit, I need a nap. I look forward to naps during the day. Hell, I'll nap at work if you let me. But I mean, when you run hard and play hard or whatever, the naps be coming in handy. So that's when I fell back in love with naps. Lord have mercy. We be out there on that flight line all motherfucking day. Yeah, in the first 2 years of my Navy career, I was what you call a plane captain. I launch and recover helos. Fixed on them, washed them, put them through phase, daily turnarounds, all that good stuff. Anybody who know about planes know that I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that was what I used to do. I could drive tow trucks that tow airplanes, aircraft carts. I could hot fuel, all that stuff. I could dewater, put planes in phases. Yeah. And that was my first 2 years in. After that, I went Intel. So that's how that went. But working with planes is a loud business. You'll ruin your ears for sure. But that's what I did, and that's a lot of work. And it's a lot of naps going on around that. So that's what I mean. My first introduction to some straight arduous work nonstop, 12 on, 12 off. Oh, nap time. But y'all know water check, 7 bottles. Today, it's still drinking, but in the last week or so I done fell off a little bit, but I'm gonna get back on. Remember, I tell you guys, if you don't do good that day, just when you realize, even within that day, oh, I didn't meet my mark today, just get back on it. Ain't no harm, no foul. 2 times to drink water, most important, is first thing in the morning. And when you're going to sleep at night, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of cleansing, replenishing, rejuvenating, rebooting, recharging, all of that going on at night, burning calories the most you could in a day. And in the morning, you're getting up, your body moving, the engine going. The water is like the lube. So be sure to drink your water. Drink your water. You never know. It might save your life one day. And it keeps your skin nice and tight and lubricated and hydrated. And when your skin is lubed properly, that's how people have that young look. I'm just telling you guys. That's how you keep your young look. You keep the elasticity in your skin. That's going to wear out over time, but water is one of them things that have that stay together. And if you're on a diet or something, you're starting to lose weight, you want your skin to come down and draw in properly. Hey, one of the key ingredients, water. Believe me when I say. Believe me when I say. But let's get into it. Should Tank sign with Oscar De La Hoya? Let me put my music on. What y'all think? Should Tank sign with Oscar? You know what? I say why not? And I can tell you why I say that. Let me make sure I'm linked up and phone lines are open before I get into it. Remember to hit like, share, and subscribe. Lean on that lazy when you step into the hazy. And hit the like button when you step into my square circle. Come on, y'all. A lot more of you guys be watching than you think. And shout outs to everybody who watched me while they at work on the last leg of their shift. I enjoy that. I enjoy finding that out about some folks, helping y'all get through the end. Remember, don't choke nobody. You know, it's that last hour or two you be at work, you be like, man, I should smack this bitch. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just be like, you know what? Let me get the fuck up out of here in one piece. But I certainly appreciate y'all for checking me out during your working hours and all that. All I ask is if you can, for half a second or however, maybe a second or two, go ahead into your YouTube right quick and hit that like button. Duck off into the bathroom right quick. Go into your YouTube and hit that like button. While you watch, help me out with my algorithms. Because I was like, a lot of people watching it. But then now I know it's the people, they be at work and stuff. So shout outs to y'all. And my Facebook. Come out of Facebook. Go into the YouTube and hit the like button. It take you about a couple of seconds. Come on. I know half of y'all most of my life. And Facebook is mostly family and friends, but people I really do know. Most of my friends I've known 10 or more years. Family, known you longer than that. Show your black love, show your support. Go into Facebook right now. If you're in Facebook, go into YouTube right now and hit the like button. What the hell are you waiting on? Or else when I come home, don't say nothing to me. Every time you come in, big as my family is, I got enough people to make YouTube be like, boy, y'all know y'all out there. Y'all know y'all click on that button. Y'all know y'all pass it. Stop what you're doing. Go into YouTube and hit the like button. I'm going to tell Bazelle. All my aunties, come on. Get your grandkids to help you, figure out how to do this. All my cousins, stop bullshitting around. Go into YouTube and hit the like button. I know y'all watch. Just hit that like button. Anywho, first story I'm going to lead off with. So we got Dillian White, one and only correspondence that he's put out since he signed this contract. Since he gonna have his fight between him and Fury. It was sent out today. Why do you think that's important? Apparently there's a clause 11 in Dillian's contract that says he must actively promote his fight on social media. My. How far we come due to technology. It can be placed in your contract. Clause 11. You have to actively promote this fight through social media. And you know Dillian White, he won't doing nothing. Taco Meat was like, later for y'all. I don't give a fuck if y'all find Waldo. Taco Meat won't doing shit. And Taco Meat had a chip on his shoulder. And I don't blame Taco Meat. But he sent out a tweet, and by doing so today, he fulfilled that part of the contract. You know, a couple of days ago, or at least a week ago, Frank Warren was talking that yang, talking about we had to get us a standby because, we don't know what the hell Dillian was doing. Dillian was all up in their head, all between the noggin with the ignoring. Ignoring works. I'm telling you, it can get the best of us. You ignore a motherfucker, you can get to them. I mean, there is no more better strategy than the strategy of ignoring. And you can make that applicable to anything in life. Relationships, your job. You want to see somebody come out of character, ignore their ass. Taco Meat went back to his old school days strategies. Because, it might be something to the fact that Tyson Fury get up under your skin and your head during these press conferences. And he might, you might have took his Achilles heel from him by not being able to do his usual. Some kind of way, I don't know why. And I could be wrong. I always talk about my spidey senses. But my spidey senses is telling me, and it could be wrong, Dillian White gonna fuck this boy up. I just got that feeling. He gonna mess Tyson Fury up. I think Dillian got his number. AKA Taco Meat. Now, why I call him Taco Meat, I told y'all it's about his grooming habits. Black men, especially. I'm talking to y'all. I can't speak for the other races. I gotta talk to my kings. Comb your motherfucking hair. Pull your motherfucking pants up. Show them what a king is all about. Come on now. This style of not combing your hair has gone too far. It's a bridge too far. In my generation, you got popped. I dare you walk out the house. The shame of it all, bringing shame to the family. And you ain't combing your motherfucking hair. This is why I call Dillian White Taco Meat. Because he do shit like that. If you know your fucking hair ain't going smooth and shit on your face, either comb that bitch or cut it off. That shit ain't cute neither. That's sporadic patches here and there. Come on. I want to play the Fred Sanford song on you. Cut the shit, Dillian. Please. Now, I know a lot of people give you jazz about Dean because it seems like that's your partner and all that. I don't really care, Dillian. I mean, I laugh at it sometimes. I might even take a jab or two. I really don't care. I would never disrespect you or not like you because that's who your heart says you love. I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not. It do seem kind of weird a little bit. I mean, you're from a patriarchal society and y'all are taking each other's names. So I don't know. Living together, whatever. Now Dillian, to his credit, he's offloaded a bunch of children. But that don't make that he can't be in love with Dean. I don't know. But that ain't never nothing I would pick on you. I'm gonna pick on you because you don't comb your motherfucking hair. And you just come out looking like anything. Come on now. Don't represent us like that. Who else I got on like that? What was his name? Out of DC. And I love this family, the Russells. Antoine. I was like, nigga, if you don't comb your motherfucking hair. Excuse me for 1 second, y'all. 1 second. My bag. Yeah, who was I talking about? Gary Russell brother. I'm sorry. My daughter came and say something to me. Gary Russell, Antoine, you know, he was under the notion that he ain't gotta do nothing to his hair. Females, we watch shit like that. We watch what kind of outfits and shoes, and it's not the most important thing, but you can tell a lot about somebody by the way they just keep basic shit. You got an outfit for the fight you never worn before. We assuming this is new for the fight. You're trying to drum up casual fans. You're trying to, sell your brand, which is you. And you coming in there with your hair uncombed or you looking dingy or dirty. Cut the shit, black men. Cut the shit. I gotta give you this constructive criticism. Dillian White, you is too old. Your ass is too old to be engaging in this shit. I can see Antoine doing it because that's his generation. But Antoine, you don't get a pass neither. I was happy to see in your last fight somebody did your hair. Don't stop doing that shit. Please don't. But Dillian, too old to have patches of hair growing on your face. It screams laziness and nastiness. Cut the shit. Please. Now people are not going to buy y'all fight. Sorry to tell you. And I think you know that. We ain't pressed for Tyson Fury or you per se, but as long as you're a boxer, you can always actively try to ingratiate people into your fold. You can't do that with not combing your hair and looking crazy. You look like a man. That's the way God made you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody telling you put fake lips on or eyelashes or make. We ain't telling you do all that. We said comb your motherfucking hair, cut that nasty looking beard, look like something. Who else does that? Erickson Lubin. Nice looking man. I know the fellas in here ain't gonna, probably chime in on this. So I'll do it for you. Who's nice looking and everything. Erickson Lubin, nice looking man. Until I look at that hair. Cut the shit, Erickson. Comb that motherfucking hair. Now, I know your face was all broken this past weekend, so you're going to be looking the sight for a minute. But when you come back, do something with that motherfucking hair. Now, when you laid up because you're hurt and all that, take a chill. Lay up. Because, shit, all your face is broke. Your jaw, your nose, your eyes, probably your ears, your shoulder dislocated. You probably broke your collarbone. Hey, we get it. Ain't nobody looking for you to be in a beauty contest then. But if you come back and that hair ain't combed, you got some explaining to do. But getting back to Dillian, he sent out a tweet and his words were, "I am looking forward to seeing everyone on the 23rd of April at Wembley Stadium." So in a sense, he honored Clause 11 that they got in people's contracts today as a responsibility of the fighters. Now, I don't know how I feel about that, because if you have a promoter, why in the fuck would any promoter responsibilities be heaped upon any fighter? Then what do I need you for? If I'm to promote, then what do I need you for? Please explain. Or maybe the percentage that you pay promoters need to go down tremendously if some of their duties have to be heaped upon the actual fighter. What y'all think about that? I think that's fair. To y'all fighters, that's an argument you need to be talking about when you talking to your promoters. Hey, look, if I'm going to be taking on some of your responsibilities, then I'm going to need to cut too. How about I pull back about 3%? Wait a minute now. Wait a minute, ass. Get to work, nigga. Either you promoting or I'm promoting. Which one is it? But, that was in his contract. By him ignoring everybody. He wasn't on social media. He live in Portugal. You won't finna come up in Portugal with the rah-rah. You ain't know where he was, how to get to him. And he was doing what he was supposed to do. He just wasn't out there. And I understand why. We all can understand why. And I'm not a fan of taco meat at all, but I understand, because I'm not a fan of yours, that don't give me carte blanche to feel like I could treat you anyway and just, be unfair. No, I'm gonna always be fair with everyone, even if I ain't like a big fan of yours. Because I just because I don't, I understand that I could be a person that I don't like this person. But in boxing, I don't know enough of them I haven't met enough of them to be like, I don't like this person or that person. But there is definitely behavior you can do to make me say, I don't like you. But to be fair to you, that's easy peasy. You get that regardless of what you do and say. Me and you could be mortal enemies, and you're going to get some fairness. Except when we have to go to blows now. I don't know. I can't speak on that one. But, he was ignoring him. He had nothing to say. He wasn't showing up to no press conferences. He wasn't doing the normal. He wasn't trying to even play in the reindeer games. I actually think being this way, Dillian, you kind of made me like you a little bit. Ensuring he would be there in light of Frank Warren's nervousness. He put that tweet out. Because he know the fans mean everything. Most fighters will say the fans mean something to them. Dillian has a following in his home state. His home country. He has a lot of fans. They're going to put on their performance in front of a stadium of 90,000 people. That's a lot of people now. So I'm sure Dillian do not want to disappoint the fans or disrespect their time, energy, and effort spending in their hard-earned money on him. So he placed the tweet out. Or maybe it just boiled down simply to his fiduciary responsibilities in that contract. For whatever the reason, he obligated what he's supposed to obligate. Frank Warren cannot sue him, to my knowledge. If he can, I will update you guys on that. But Frank Warren can't do nothing about it but get mad. And getting mad is something he did. Tyson Fury couldn't do his normal, gypsy tricks, get all up in your head and shit. Dillian wasn't having it. So then Frank Warren, about a week ago or so, I know I put this out in one of my videos, came out and said, hey, you know what? We got to stand by. Because, he was trying to elude or make Dillian feel like, look, we don't even know this fight going to happen. Man, that's how bad he got in his head. Because I make Frank Warren believe that shit. And he was mad about the shit. You can't run no black man in here. That's what Dillian would say. I'm my own black man. You ain't running me. Between Frank Warren and Bob Arum, they hemmed the brother up. And had fun doing it and slept like a baby. So Dillian hemmed this motherfucker up. Had fun with it and slept like a baby. I ain't mad at Dillian. So Frank Warren want to tell the world, hey, got my stand by. Dillian ain't coming. He didn't directly say it. Dillian ain't coming. He alluded to it. That didn't faze him. He got no response from Dillian. But Dillian lawyer been talking with Frank Warren and all of them. Ain't that crazy? He's so in their fucking head that Frank Warren is talking to Dillian's lawyer. Dillian, I hope you beat the brakes off these motherfuckers. I hope you do. Yeah, so Frank Warren put out that, and Team Tyson has secured a standby, and Dillian was a no-show to that message. And like I said, I told you guys why I think I'm not in Dillian's head. I told you why I think that he was doing this, why he's been quiet all this time leading up to the fight. And y'all can tell me what y'all think, and this is me speculating. Dillian White has several title eliminators, and according to the WBC rule, the split should have been 55-45. Now I don't know how. When it comes to black fighters, these white men get very creative. And I have to say it like that because it's always with black fighters. Do the rules change at halftime? But somehow or another, that rule don't cease to exist when it can be applicable to a black fighter. But that rule is always existent when it's everybody else. This is why people like me or other folks, we be saying the race card or whatever. We stating the obvious. It only happens that I see to black fighters. Because people love to tell black people their value or lack thereof. This is why we got this controversy with Earl Spence and Bud Crawford, over their value. This is the part to get a Bud fan like me heated when people are going to diminish this man's value and act like he has no value because Earl is the popular one. Hell to the no. Y'all stop that shit. This is why black people be falling behind. Stop being in the business of devaluing black people, period. And I'm not going to just say men, I'm talking people, period. But you know what? I always say you don't wait on nobody to give you value, and you don't wait on nobody to give you masculinity or femininity, or you don't wait on nobody to tell you you're a grown-ass man or woman. I don't. And when the motherfucker act like they trying to take it from me, I be like, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, ma'am. That kind of sound like, some kind of insult that you mean is, just for clarification purposes only. Did you mean to? And most time people like, nah, sister, look, I was trying to blah, blah, blah. Be like, oh, because it really do sound like, because sometimes people don't know what they sound like. But the day come when you meet somebody that's bold, like, yeah, I mean every word. Well, bitch, I got an attitude too. I got a mouth too. So let me run down the list of why you are fugazi and flawed. Number one, I got a lot of number ones, in fact. That's how I be. But I come nice nasty at first. Excuse me, did you mean to say that? Or were you trying to do this? Or were you trying to do that? Clarification. But nobody, we've been seeing a lot of black fighters get dealt with unfairly over this last year or two. We've been seeing how certain rules are applicable for Latino fighters, but everybody else got to sweat to the oldies. And Dillian been seeing it too. So Dillian was like, I know, Eureka. Him and Dean came up with a plan, a hellified plan. Y'all hit that like button. Hit the motherfucking like button. Come on. They mad because he didn't promote. Again, Bob, you're the promoter. You'll promote. Frank, you won the first bid. You'll promote. Fuck Dillian look like. We ain't got to do shit. Not only did y'all win the purse bid, but y'all motherfucking dicked them out of some money. So you promote. You can't take my money and expect me to work, nigga. This ain't 1735. This ain't slavery. Dillian, that's right, Taco Meat, let it be known. You ain't a master. This ain't no plantation. But you know what? Shout out to Dillian White for respecting his fans enough to let them know, don't worry, fans. Don't worry, your money ain't in vain. Your time and effort isn't in vain. I'm going to be there for the fight. I just didn't want to participate in their shenanigans. And y'all remember yesterday when I was putting out about the, Kinahan. I'm glad to see that some channels today have picked up kind of on that story. You know, that story seemed like it was buried. Nobody was talking about it. I picked it up, ran with it. I ain't trying to pat myself on the back, but I'm like just saying I'm glad some people picking it up. Because, you know, as an analyst, you can see how one thing bleeds into another and how things can be affected. Once America put them bounties on the heads of the Kinahans, not like no death bounties, so we clear. Bounties need for information leading to the arrest of them. Because they know they're guilty. You know, but a lot of people, I want y'all to be careful out there in them YouTube streets how y'all couch whatever you're going to say about that situation. Because there's a lot of fighters that are inadvertently caught up in that. And I feel the Bud shit coming. So that's a reason why I'm saying this too. But for the other fighters, I gave a list of fighters. And I think they inadvertently, like I can give you an example. I think they inadvertently are caught up in this. Like an example I can give you, without rehashing that whole story. Bob Arum was down with Daniel Kinahan. Down with him big time. Knew he was a crook. Didn't give a fuck. But Bob knows better. Bob is from the world of the FBI. That's the path he was probably going to take before he decided to get off into boxing. So Bob got friends in high places now. He knows. He knows when the bloodhounds is on your ass. Bob know when you're toxic. He know when to fall back, hold them and fold them, walk away, run. Bob knows that. So that's why I always tell you, follow the lead. Ask the question, what's the point? What's your intent? Look at what Bob did recently. He straight divorced himself from Daniel Kinahan. Because he know the FBI, the CIA, you know, all the motherfuckers is on him. Now, so we clear, because some of you guys might not know the roles of those two entities. The FBI is like a American police. They really only deal with shit in America. But they just as big and powerful like the CIA. CIA is not a police force. They're an intel gathering agency. They help us stay abreast. They're our investigators. But they go everywhere. In the country, out the country, whatever. So you best believe they got Daniel Kinahan's number. They know. But when you know something and prove something, it's two different things. This man is toxic for anybody that's gonna be around him. You know, I don't know the man. I'm not advocating for or against him. I'm just saying at this present state in life, they got his number. And they're gonna get him. Or at least they feel they're gonna get him. So now everybody, it behooves them to break ties. But we're not gonna put no jacket on these fighters as if they purposely, you know. And again, my offer still stands. I'll cash out somebody $50 if they can prove. Just because you say it don't make it right. Prove it with some credible sources and let that shit be validated. That Bud either signed, because I'm going to add one more to that, either signed a 2-fight deal to PBC or prove that Bud even signed with MTK Global. That has never been proven. But I will say Bud could be inadvertently caught up because he was signed to Bob Arum. Bob holds stable every last one of y'all fighters. You guys are inadvertently caught up with Daniel Kinahan. If you're signed to Marcus and Queensberry, Frank Warren and stuff, you are inadvertently signed or in the mix with Daniel Kinahan. The reason why he has such a big reach in boxing is not the fighters, it's those promoters. Your Frank Warrens of the world, your Bob Arums of the world, your Eddie Hearns of the world. Without them, Daniel Kinahan wouldn't be shit in boxing. Off the rip, he'd just be a rich dude trying to stick his hand and feet in it. They the ones that gave him legitimacy. They the ones who helped smooth things in to get him in there. And I know everybody can say, well, what about the PBC? They the lone wolf in this thing. Guess what? PBC runs like a hedge fund company. Where you think he get his money? You cannot guarantee that Al Haymon gets his money, his funding from legit people, resources, whatever. Runs it like a hedge fund. You don't know how, he doesn't know half the people he getting the money from. There's a way to know who to pay and this, that, and the other. But that's when you do hedge fund stuff, it's a lot of silent investors. So we can't sit up here and say ain't nobody hands dirty. This is why this information is being put out through Interpol. When Interpol got a problem with you, people got a problem with you. That's big time problems that none of us want. They act like Daniel is so knee deep in boxing that his reach is deep. And again, his reach couldn't be deep without the help of these promoters. We put out who Terrence Crawford is signed with. We showed receipts who Terrence Crawford is signed with. I challenge anybody to show me, and I'm open to it, that he signed with MTK or he signed his PBC. All of this shit from November to now, approximately 5.5 months, this motherfucker been signed to MTK, PBC, everybody, but who he really signed to. I showed you guys the proof. He's even validated it. All the rest of that shit is rumors. If you listen to the accounts of people saying it, it's rumors. It's not facts. It's not concrete. It's rumors. And I'm not negating, any conversation that somebody might have had on the phone, in person, whatever, through social media. I'm just saying that nothing has been substantiated. What has been substantiated is that Bud Crawford is signed to Introbox and Bally's as a partnership. And those two companies are the new Fox Sports. Fox Sports exists no more. It's called Introbox or Bally's. It's really called Bally's. I broke all that down in the video one time. Not that long ago. You can go back and look at it. But that's where we at with that. But I am happy that people other than me was picking up the story and telling how they saw it. But I want us to be careful. It's a debunking party over here. That's the kind of time I'm on. So if y'all want me to read, I put the link in the chat if anybody's interested. And make sure that I got the phone lines open. Yep, I got the phone lines open if y'all interested in calling. You can call in and let me know. As I said, I'm open to whatever. I told you, DeBella, you can't trust him neither because he in conjunction with that shit too. He decided that IMG. I don't know much about IMG, but I bet you if I look that up, you know, these promoters be trying to get money. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why I told you it was dangerous. Going back to one of my points that I always make, it's dangerous to be running around here acting like you're a boss when you're not. I told you, when you spend other people's money, you're not a boss. Somebody just asked me, am I going to the Earl Spence fight? Hell no. Hell no. I ain't going to. When I boycott, I don't straddle the fence. If I say I'm not buying PBC fights, I'm not buying it in person. I'm not buying it on TV. If somebody just text me and ask me, was I going to the fight? Not until they correct their Terrence Crawford problem. And I sees it as a problem. But yeah, I'm gonna look up IMG, see what they talking about, what they kicking for. You know, see what's good with that. You know, Taya's in the building. What's popping, King or Prince? Tank should sign with Oscar. They are very similar. You saw him dancing in his drawers. I didn't see you talking about Tank dancing. Now that I didn't see. I know that Oscar liked to wear the fishnets and black pantyhose. You know, Oscar liked to get down like that. But I haven't seen that out of Tank. I hope not. You say, yep. Oh, damn. Now you gonna make me look that up. Tay. I don't know. Tay has weighed into the thumbnail. What the rest of y'all got to say about it? Should Tank sign with Oscar? What y'all think? Tay said Rolling on TikTok showed it. Whoa. Was it appropriate draws? Tay, did he have on, men bikini? Or did he have on my draws? I think my draws be a little too big. A bigger woman than him. PGH Big Dog is in the building. He said, salute Queen T. Salute to you too, King. He said, Tank a damn fool if he signed with Oscar. Why you say that, PGH? He said, no woman's draws. Just in his drawers, no shirt, no nothing. I mean, if he was wearing regular drawers, the thing that make people like Ricky Hatton and Oscar look weird, and whoever else is, they be wearing bikini like leathery, weird. People don't want to see that shit. And then they be doing some old weirdo shit. That's what make that funny. People, close the door. Stop pulling out your camera when you're doing your do. That's between you and the person you in that room with. He was dancing. I guess I gotta see it. Context is everything. I guess I gotta see it, Tay. I gotta see it. Because it could be innocent. I mean, many of us have danced in our drawers. But PGH, why you don't think he should sign with Oscar? I mean, what say you? What was good? He said Oscar got a terrible history with black fighters. He do. And I ain't forget those racist emails. No, we haven't, but let me say this. Floyd Mayweather wouldn't be the billionaire that he is if it weren't for Oscar. I'm not giving Oscar like total credit. They all work together. But Floyd came up on the money working with Oscar. It was weird. He was dancing like one of those happy boys, huh? But now Oscar sucks and is racist. He probably is, but at this point with Tank, he got to make a wise decision. And sometimes you got to set emotions aside. You know what I'm saying? Right now, let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think that Tank is a businessman and ready to do business, like on his own? You think he's a shrewd businessman? If Tank leave Floyd, he need to stay a free agent. I'm all for that, but Tank, do he have the team or wherewithal to do business, standing on his own 10 toes and getting paid? Because Tank's motivator is money. It ain't all Mayweather's fault on that one. Mayweather spoke to what he saw in Tank. That to Tank, the bottom line was money. To us boxing fans, the bottom line, as we always say, if you ain't in it for the championship, the unification, or the Super Bowl of boxing, which is undisputed, what the fuck you in it for? And why should we, as a boxing fan collective, line your pocket? Tell me that. That's how I be feeling. Like, why is it my duty to line your pocket as a boxer? When did that become my responsibility and you ain't giving me shit in return? Tay said Tank may get in trouble again. He already in trouble, Tay. He still got to go to court. He still got some court shit hanging over his head. PGA said he can just pick and choose the fights he wants instead of getting locked in a deal. But he don't have no money. General Big Fish, what's up, King? Now, hey, y'all, this is Earl's fan right here. You know what, General Big Fish? I'm going to refer to you to put smack down when it comes to Earl in my channel. People like you, there's a couple of y'all, ATL and all that they know what they talk about. They represent Earl well. What's up, King? What's going on? We just sit here pondering this question, General Big Fish. Should Tank sign with Oscar? Because Oscar didn't put his bid out there. Oscar didn't like, hey, holler at me, Tank. And I know a lot of y'all be like, nah, Oscar just as bad. Oscar was at his best. I will say this. Oscar Floyd had the same problem with Bob Arum. Oscar Floyd did the same thing by getting away from Bob. Oscar Floyd did the same thing by getting their own promotional company. Oscar did a good thing. He had a great guy heading and running his company. The Leonard Ellerby of Golden Boy Promotion was none other than Richard Schaefer, who runs and heads up Pro Bellum, which have now been alluded to, or it's alleged that he's in conjunction with Pro Bellum itself, is in connection with the new Public Enemy #1, which is Daniel Kinahan. So we're gonna see how that shakes out. But like I said, when you sign with these people, you don't know all the backstories and the ins and outs that they do. A lot of people is happy that Golden Boy, who else? Eddie Hearn, Top Rank, all these other big promoting companies are in line with Daniel Kinahan, and Daniel Kinahan is like toxic waste now. So everybody's like, see, look, PBC hands ain't dirty. PBC have silent investors. You don't know what his hands is. And then when I was thinking about this, and I know the Bella is in connection with this shit too. Guess what? Guess who pretty much got control over Devin Haney? The people who is in connection with that. So are we gonna say now if we gonna say that Bud, like he all in connection with him, oh, like we so worried about Bud, like, oh, Bud, so we telling you again. It's almost like they gotta tell, but Bud been right and y'all been wrong in his business choices and how he move in these boxing streets. But I know everybody like to feel like Bud is motherfucking a damn slave that don't know no better. Hey Bud, we warning you, don't go over there to them. Well, guess what? If Bud guilty, then Devin Haney guilty. I'm telling you guys, these fighters are inadvertently caught up in the mix. Why? Because all the promoters didn't put the smack down, and they knew better. They turned their head. The Bella is one of them. They claiming Pro Bellum is another. So what about Regis Prograis? You think he on purpose try to get in mixed up with a cartel? I just reported yesterday that the Irish police and Interpol is considering if you have any business deals or you mixed up with them in any kind of way, you are part of their cartel or part of their criminal network. That ain't good for nobody. Because when they freeze them assets, they freezing your shit too. But these fighters are signed with somebody they don't think is him. They didn't purposely go up to that. They in conjunction with it because their promoter is scandalous like that. Tay said Oscar would be too I guess he meant crooked or cooked up to manage Tank. Yeah, he does got a substance problem. Tay said he will be on that powder. Indeed, Tay. What happened to Kinahan? Tay, you gotta watch my show from yesterday. He public enemy #1 now. And anybody, this is as per the Irish police, because that's where he's from. And Interpol. He got Department of Treasury problem. We have bounties on him leading up to their arrest, not for their kill or nothing, but a bounty for anybody who got information leading to his arrest. Daniel Kinahan been in boxing, his hands in boxing for a long time. All these big promoters ignored him. So all these fighters who are signed with these promoters who don't mind breaking bread with this criminal, they're inadvertently caught up in the mix. You know, the legal law has provisions for that. All those fighters that I named, to include Bud Crawford, they're not going to get caught up in that shit because they didn't purposely try to do that. Now, I know a lot of folks put out that between November and now, which is probably approximately like 5.5 months, you know, all these other folks want to put out what Bud Crawford actually doing and who he signed to, and this, that, and the other. But the only one that we know of where we show receipts between me and the Mac Mob is Introbox, Bally's Fitness. Bud is not signed to MTK. There was never no proof offered for that. Bud is not signed to PBC. There was never no proof offered for that. And if Bud was never signed to PBC, he then could not have turned down a fight with Keith Thurman. Either these are people's hopes and wishes, or they straight lies. We show receipts. General Big Fish said if Tank goes to Golden Boy, that would be a big shakeup in boxing. I'm for it if it's good for Tank. That's what I say, General Big Fish. Tank should be a free agent. I mean, yeah, but he still got to do the business of boxing. And that's what I ask you guys. Do you think he up for that? Is Tank ready to do the business of boxing? Do he have a team like a Bomac on his team to help them navigate the business side of it. Real talk, I'm asking. Oh my God, he was a whole ass mob boss. Yeah. On some Tony Montana shit. Yeah. Every criminal has his day. When you got the United States government putting up money for info, hey, and they ain't putting up no chump change. You know, you already know what time it is. But I talked about it yesterday. Like, we got a problem. We's got a problem. No, we's don't got a problem. Bob and all them other people that broke bread with him got a problem. You know, y'all cannot put that jacket on them fighters. They want to fight. They sign with promoters. Not everybody is a businessman, y'all. Sorry to say. Not everybody has the wherewithal to be a businessman. And sometimes that takes time for them to mount up to some shit like that. But I see most of you guys have said, you know, you want him to stay free. Now, tell me how that works. Tell me how he negotiates the deal. Because the one jacket we cannot put on Mayweather and them is that Tank was money hungry. Can't put that on Mayweather. Mayweather probably saw what he needed to do, and he dangled that carrot in front of Tank. They can't get him over here, right? Who? Daniel Kinahan? You know what America can do? They can freeze your assets. Another thing America could do is they can nationalize anything. You guys are not familiar with nationalizing is, go look it up. But just to give you a little something, just look it up and think about what that means going forward. You can be from another country and make money in America, just like we can go to other countries and make money in their country. You can have a bank. I can have a bank in another country, making all the money, you know, making more money than their CEOs and Fortune 500 companies there. You know, making more money than their people there. And that country's president, prime minister, whatever, can be like, you know what, T, I'm going to nationalize your business. They can be specific to mine, or they can go across the whole country, or just a certain section of the country. And when they nationalize, not naturalize, nationalize. We do it all the time. Countries do it all the time. You just don't hear about it as much. You know, sorry for the scream. My daughter playing her game. We do it all the time. And what that is you just take over that whole business. So even though I paid the cost to be the boss of that business in that other country, and I'm breaking in the millions and everything, that country's prime minister or president or whatever they call their leaders can nationalize my business specifically, take all the cash, and keep it for themselves. And back in the day, they used to do that. Just like that, keep it for themselves. And can you imagine that's your money, all your assets tied up in that, and some country does that to you? You'll be pissed. But they can do it. We can do it. China, when you know, this is why when in politics, I be like, what are y'all crying about? China behind up all these spots in America. No country worries about that. Because they can take it back at any moment. But what's beneficial to any country who does that, because you don't want to be in the business of that. You're going to pay for that shit later. Is what they do is they'll take your shit. And they might have written down a daytime group of when they're going to give it back. But they do give it back. Just to take it and keep it and be like, shit, you had $30 million in the bank. My country needs that money. Let me nationalize your shit. I got your $30 million. I ain't giving you shit. It doesn't work like that. America can take it, and it can be some crazy reasons why they do it. America can take that money, reinvest, and get themselves out of a hole, pay off some debts or whatever. But trust me, they're gonna have a daytime group and they're gonna pay you back with interest. That's what Obama was doing when he had to give Iran back its money, because Bush made it to be that way. They took their shit, had a daytime group, a stamp of when the money had to go back, or under what circumstances could they get their money back. And that daytime, happened to be during Obama's presidency. But you listen to Fox News, you would think Obama reached into our GDP, which is what we make. GDP is America's paycheck, if you want to look at it like that. Listening to Fox News and Republicans, you would have thought that Obama reached into our pockets and just gave that nigga $400 million or whatever it was. No, he honored what the president before him set into play. Now, mind you, Bush Jr. had us in 2 wars simultaneously, and he never paid for either one. And he sneakily got around, did some good little maneuvering just to even have us over there. You gonna pay today, or you're gonna pay tomorrow. Obama had to come in behind him and pay for the wars, or else our credit rating would have really took a nosedive. And it took a nosedive, but it would have been worse. And if you think we don't need our credit rating Standards and Poor's and other places to stay up, you ought to see America when we don't have credit. Because we are knee deep in globalization. We can't pull out. So this is what I be telling you guys. I done ducked off into politics. I'm going to climb my way back up out of there. This is why I be telling you guys. A lot of y'all guys don't really know the real. You be having misdirected anger. You don't know what you're talking about. Tay said if everyone was leaders, there would be no one to lead. I guess you meant lead. He said, why Fanon be clickbaiting? Fanon got dropped off by the LDBC. That's from what I could see. I really don't know. I knew, but I don't know. It ain't even worth mentioning how he tore his drawers. That could be for them to tell you. But he tore his drawers with them some kind of way. And they dropped him off. Now, they ain't going for the kill. He's still a black man, out there doing whatever. But he rather lie to y'all to get y'all to come see his page and, from what I can see. And I'm not talking about Fanon in a bad way when I say that. It's just, it is what it is. I stopped watching him. I used to watch him, but I cannot watch liars. I just can't do it. And he does that often. Doesn't mean, when I say that, you guys, that don't mean he can't be a good guy. But he is not in the fold of the LDBC. So, and they might all be still friends. I don't know. Hopefully they make up or whatever. But right now, he had a lot of followers. He was very successful and still is, I guess. But sometimes people like to go ahead and embellish and lie about certain things, and as y'all young folks call it, clickbaiting. That word wasn't a thing when I was growing up, so I'm learning how to use y'all lingo. Okay, but I don't even watch him anymore because certain things straight up lies. It's not necessary. It's almost like I done took on the mission of debunking lies or bullshit, or preventing narratives from even taking flight, in these YouTube streams. It's almost like I took that on as a mission. And I don't have to hate nobody or talk bad about nobody or point no finger at nobody. I'm just talking about the subject, and tell people, how to properly ask the right questions in your head to arrive at the right answers. Because I really do believe in life that when you know better, you'll do better. You'll make better decisions when you have all the answers, the information It's when you have half-ass information or whatever, do you not make the right decisions? And there's nothing wrong with saying I'm speculating and I'm guessing. Speculation is a real job in America. Always have. It's one of the original jobs. It's as old as prostitution. So it's nothing wrong with any of us saying I'm speculating here, but that means I'm taking an educated guess here. I'm hypothesizing. How you say that word? Hypothesizing here. Tay said he said Bud have to sign with the PBC. No, he don't. He doesn't. And Bud didn't sign with the PBC. I offered $50 cash out about 2 days ago. Ain't nobody came up in this bitch and asked for it. Tay said she loud. He said I forgot no names. You good. You good. I mean, I don't like to talk bad about nobody. If you lie, you lie. You're a liar, you're a liar, And I'm not calling him a liar because I don't even watch him enough to say nothing like that. But I've watched a couple of times and he straight up lied. And I can't, and that's why I say I don't watch liars. I can't. You lie once, you just gonna keep lying, and you purposely do it. And I'm looking at your intent, and I do see that the intent is to get y'all to come in and watch. And this, to me, that's not worth it. I'd rather for one person to watch me and I'll be telling the truth the whole time. If I don't know, I don't know. I ain't afraid to say I don't know. He said, but he's still clickbaiting. I just watch his video. Yeah. I'm not even up on the up and up, like with whatever he got going on right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you the people I watch: Bold and Understanding. I watch the Mac Mob. I watch E Thriller, the Black Picasso. I watch Fred. I watch Kyle Show. That's about it. Nah, I ain't say it like that. I watch other people's shows too, because I always tell you guys to, I had to recorrect it. The shows that I just named, the guys I just named, that's who I watch faithfully. Faithfully. Other shows I try to get in. I like Ricky Williams. I like Southern T. I watch what I can, but I can't sit at a computer all day and watch everything. But Fred, Kyle, really the Mac Mob, E Thriller, those are my go-to TV watching day. You know what I'm saying? The other shows I watch some LDB shows. I just don't say nothing, and I'm sub to them. I always tell you guys, you see people in the chat, go sub to that channel, whether you agree with them or like them or whatever. Show your black love. Support each other, There's things they say that I don't agree with. We reading the same articles. We reading the same thing. And I come in here and tell you how I feel, my perspective, what I read and how I interpret it. That's what I do. He said Spence knocked out Bud with no evidence. Yeah, I don't know. See, at that point. Oh my God, Tay, he said that. See, at that point, you almost got to say something wrong with him. They say I watch Boxing Gyms for analysis. Okay. He said he's amazing. Cool. I'm not familiar with him, but now that you mentioned him, I'm going to go check him out. But Earl Spence and Bud Crawford has never, to my knowledge, sparred or fought. That's why we won it so bad. They say, yeah. Banan said that. He said that's why Bud is ducking Spence. Yeah, we all know that Bud is not ducking Spence. We all know that. I'm telling you, if y'all want to see if Bud was ever really ducking Spence, go to E Thriller, the Black Picasso's page. He got a 16-part series. Go through them. They up in the air. They in the YouTube cloud. Go watch them. Go to the Mac Mob. He be dropping all them damn receipts. The Black Picasso is famous and notorious for dropping receipts. They don't just say nothing outside of their neck. And them 16 parts, they're not long videos. but they definitely get to the heart of whatever the controversy is at the time. See, when Bud was saying something about black people or black fans, then Tay, then he was talking about Fanon then. That would be one person he was talking about. He wasn't talking about me, he was talking about Fanon. Fanon is one of many. You won't never talking to me. But I realize it's better to get all black folks to feel a certain way about Bud because it helps push the narrative. You know, their favorite fighter is Errol Spence. That helps push that narrative. But you don't have to go through all that. You know, Spence is a great fighter. You don't have to do all that. Bud is a good fighter. He said, I think he deleted the video. Probably did. PGA said Bud does bad business. Why ain't he signed with the PBC to fight Spence and Ugas? PGA's. I dropped the link for you, baby. Baby. I'm going to drop it again. You have to, and I'm going to give you an opportunity. I ain't fussing at you, PGA. You one of my day one kings. You know I love you. You're going to have to explain what you mean by bad business. I will be quiet. I'll listen. I got the link for you right there, King. Say no fussing show. But I'm very curious. I know you say that often, but you got to explain to me, what do you mean by bad business? Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe we all missing something. Come on, King. Don't be shy. This ain't no setup. Ain't nobody else coming through. Matter of fact, it's going to be just me and you. And when you explain and you think you adequately explain or whatever, you know, if you want somebody else to come in, you can. Otherwise, I'm not bringing nobody else in because I really need to hear this. You said Bud blamed Bob Arum, black fight fans, everyone but himself, but it's all cap. Again, you know, I want to give you time to explain it. Now, you don't have to put no spin on it because I think that's the bad part when we on these YouTube channels is when we talking, you know, we don't give people an adequate chance to give a full sentence or explanation. You know, talking in spin talk or talking points. That's not good for any of us. We all here to learn. You know, you might be telling us something we're not seeing, but PGA, no, that's not true. One, I don't see the bad business part. PBC is not the superhero. They're not the all-knowing, the God-like place to be. It's just an entity. PBC is not the end-all to be on. Bud blamed Bob for what he blamed Bob for. I don't understand why that would be an issue. He did not blame black fight fans. And he didn't. You guys are taking that out of context. He talked about what's actually going on. We are at each other's throats for no reason. I shouldn't be arguing with my brothers over Errol Spence, or my brothers shouldn't be arguing with me over Bud. We shouldn't be disliking each other over that. We should be able to talk about them, laugh about either side, and chop it up. You know, but we look at what we're doing. Okay, King, you said I can't get on right now, so I'll just take what you're saying one by one. He said Bob couldn't get him to fight, which PBC and Spence said they wouldn't fight. He said UK fans have the best fans. Tay seemed like Tay is answering the question for me. He said black channels come for him. That's true. And our toxic and they are toxic, which they are. And guess what? Y'all gotta explain to me, why does any man owe any YouTube channel the gift of his presence? Bud don't have to come on none of the LDBC channels. He don't have to come on channels that are not the LDBC. That does not make or break him. LDBC is fairly new in the grand scheme of things when you're talking about channels or people who advocate and talk boxing. Bud is under no contract that I'm aware of that says he has to do it. There is no black contract with black people in general that I'm aware of that says you have to be with people who have shown you they don't like you. I would say this to you, PGH. Tell me which LDBC channel has genuinely treated Bud fairly, didn't call him out his name, didn't talk about him like a dog. I'll wait, name him. PGA said, why is he suing Bob? Because Bob breached his contract. See, we all got caught up. It's not your fault, PGH. It's not none of our fault. We get caught up in the headlines. But if you go look at the paperwork, the actual paperwork, and Fred actually read it on the show. Other people read it on that show too. I know you watch Fred's show. I'm not familiar with other shows you might watch. But that suit is not for racial bias. It's for breach of contract. We've all seen the paperwork, and we all and like I said, Fred read it out loud and showed you on his channel. I know you quiver with some of the things Fred said. Trust me, I don't agree with everything Fred said. Fred, when it comes, like I will tell you this, PGH, Fred, when it comes to politics, he biased. And if Fred listening, I love him to death, but he is. That's a personal thing. Without going into it, there's something personal with that one. But Fred, there's nothing personal about showing the suit paper, which is public records, and reading it verbatim in front of all of us, whereas we see the paper and we hear him reading it. Tay just broke down why kind of what you're saying is not true. PGA said, why is he suing Bob? Why did Hearn and Oscar say they don't want to sign him? Because that's what white men do when they corner black people. Bad business, Bud is the name. But he couldn't have been bad business. He got the contract that paid him the most, and it wound up paying him more than any other welterweight. Guaranteed money. He made more, number one. And he did good for himself. It's bad business, and you have to be honest, PGH. Is it us in our feelings when we say bad business because he didn't do what we wanted him to do? Or is it bad business because he signed a contract where he didn't get paid, and all he got was grief, and he owes Bob money? Like, that would be bad business. Bad business can't be a contract where you get paid more than everybody else. It cannot be. And he actually had a contingency plan for when you don't get the fight I want. And why would he make that contingency plan? Because he know how promoters can be. Yeah, you goat us in to be under your stable, but you never intend on doing what we want. So I tell you what, when you don't do what I want, you have to pay me $1 million. How is that bad business? I've told you what I want, the Errol Spence fight. I don't care why you didn't get it. You didn't get it. So you owe me $1 million. How can that be bad business, PGH? What I can hear you saying is Bud pisses you off. You don't like his business move. That's more accurate. But bad business? Well, he's messed up. He makes the best decisions. He just made a big boss move now. Fox Sports ceased to exist. It's owned by Bally's. Who are some of the owners of Bally's and Introbox? Sinclair and Terrence Bud Crawford. You cannot deny that PBC used Fox Sports as their network. Yes, they use Showtime too, but they also use Fox, who is now owners. Bud Crawford. PBC don't own Fox. Bud do. That's not bad business, PTH. That's what I'm saying. Remember Size of the Street that y'all ran with? PGA said he did the interview on Seconds Out with the Radio Raheem and blamed black fights. Fans, I guess you meant Bud a whole clown. Stop riding for that boy. He didn't blame black fans. Tay just told you he big up the fans who do big him up. He showed them appreciation. He didn't blame black fans. I heard that whole interview. But see, when you don't like somebody, it don't matter what they do. Bud have already pissed you off for next week. And we don't even know what he did. Because you just don't like him. You don't like how he moved and this, that, and the other. You know, it's okay. You know, all of us got caught up in this shit. We got caught up in there because it's been propaganda, spin, talking points, and narratives being out there, and we chose sides. People seem like they chose sides. He included racial bias too. No, that is not part of the suit. And trust me, I read that suit paper. That is not part of the suit. But if he wanted to choose racial bias, if he mentioning it, is mentioning it like this, you know, as a reason why. When you sue somebody, you gotta have motive and opportunity. And sometimes you gotta explain the opportunities or why. And that's where racial bias can come in. You know why he does this? Because he's racial. He has racial biases. Want me to show you how I know he got it? He has an MBF clause. Look at what he said out his own mouth in regards to the Pacquiao fight. And we were both under his umbrella. Anybody who black, who had a problem with Bob, at this point can prove racial bias. But that's not the suit. The suit doesn't even ask for, because racial bias, he should ask for a whole lot of money. The suit only asks for $10 million. He only asks for what he owes. You gotta keep things in context. Why don't he have a network now? But it's almost like PGH, I'm tripping with you. I'm tripping. Because I'm telling you, and it's almost like I'm thinking you're not listening. Is Fox News, Fox Sports, is that a network or not? Holler at me, PGH, because I want to slow walk you on this one. Is Fox Sports a network or not? And while you answering that one, is PBC a network or not? I want you to answer that one, PGH. Because I don't want to get ahead, like put the cart before the horse. Because I'm talking to you, and you guys do this all the time. You guys, I don't know if you're negating what is said, or do you hear what is said? Love you to death, man. No disrespect. You know you my day one. I have to say that, y'all. This is my king right here. Bud don't own no Fox Sports. I'm asking you a simple question. Is Fox Sports a network or not? A simple yes or no. Because I gotta see if you think that or not. Because if you don't think that Fox Sports is a network, we had a brick wall. We have now hit a brick wall. So I gotta slow walk you. You putting the cart before the horse. Yes or no? I'll wait a second for you to tell me. Oh my God, PGH, I love you. He said PBC got fighters on Fox, Showtime, and Bounce. I asked you a question. Yes, okay, cool. It is. Now, see how you answer that one. Is PBC a network or not? Trust me, I'm gonna go somewhere with this. Yes or no? Is PBC a network or not? You say you moving the goalpost, Queen. I'm not. I'm just indulge me. Is PBC a network or not? I'm going piece by piece. You just answered that Fox News. I keep saying news. I'm sorry, because that's how I know them. You just said Fox Sports is a network. You guys hit that like button, please. Please hit that like button. I know y'all watching. Just do me a solid. Hit the like button, please. And when y'all watching replay, leave some comments. You know. PGH, can you answer that for me, please? Is PBC a network or not? Because we got to establish those ground rules right there. You have to. No. Okay, cool. Me and you are right now on the same page, PGH. He said, no, PBC is not a network. But yes, Fox Sports is. Now, Bud is signed to Introbox / Bally's as a partner, not as a fighter, as a partner. That means when Fox Sports, formerly known as Fox Sports, will cease to be known as Fox Sports. That is all in the news. I showed the receipts. Not only are they saying it on their official paperwork, Disney, who own them, says it too. I showed you even when the DOJ had something to say about that merger. It is absolutely facts that Fox Sports is no longer Fox Sports. It belongs to Bally's and Introbox and Sinclair. These people that I just named who now own the network Fox Sports, Bud is in contract with them. I showed you the proof in one of my videos. I think it was last Monday. I showed you that Bud is signed with them as a partner. I wish I'd have took a screenshot of Bud, kind of admitting to that. They have Logan Paul, a couple of other people that are signed with them. So if Bud is a partner in Bally's and Introbox, the network that formerly was known as Fox Sports, then that means he got some ownership in the network. Now, their answer to whether or not he will fight for them is we never know. Like a we'll see. They're not saying he won't. They're not saying he will. But if he's part owner or just in partnership, I'm going to use the word partnership. Then suffice to say, he has a network he can turn to. Guaranteed, he has a network. What is not guaranteed is these promoters contract like a forever thing with these networks. For instance, we know that Bob Arum has a contract with ESPN that's running out pretty soon. So that means every fighter under Bob Arum has a network that they can fight on because Bob is their promoter. That's the contract he has with ESPN, one of the biggest sport networks in America, and I dare say worldwide. Next to it, if not equivalent, is Fox Sports, in which I have proven that Bud has an ownership or partnership, I'm saying. Stop saying ownership. Bud is not looking for a network. He has one available to him. But I ain't no PBC fanboy. I feel you, King. They own some bull BS too. I feel you, King. I'm not paying to see none of their fights until they've rectified this situation with the Earl and Bud, situation. Because I feel like they've been lying to us, misleading us, and worse, they either been lying to and misleading Errol Spence. I've sat here and argued that I do not understand why PBC is not in the double digits when they paying Earl his guaranteed money. He is their biggest person there. Even by their own admission. But you cannot pay this man adequately. That's not right, PGH. And I'm talking about Earl Spence. But you said you ain't answered my other question. Okay, King, what was reference me back to it? What question? I'm going to answer your question directly right now. What was it? I'm looking in the... You said Wilder, Tank. Yeah, they worked with PBC. We don't know how Tanks is going to play out in the wash because he's getting away from Mayweather. And if you listen to Mayweather, PBC and Mayweather is one and the same. We don't know how true that is. I don't think it's true, but that's me thinking. That's me speculating. And I'm not afraid to say I think, I speculate. But according to Mayweather, his own words, PBC and Mayweather promotion is one and the same. But King, go ahead and ask me the question, and I will answer it directly. So I'm just waiting for your question. But I was looking in here to see what it was. Maybe I'm sorry if I didn't answer, because I don't mean to not answer anybody's question. Well, if are you talking about this one? Why is he suing Bob Arum? Breach of contract. Period. Breach of contract. Why did Eddie Hearn and Oscar say what they say? Because that's what people like them do. They have a right to say that. Bob proclaimed that Terrence is not good, that he loses him money. So any other promoter listening to that can have a right to say, you know what, I don't want to fuck with him. If he losing Bob money, and Bob is old school, Bob would know, then I don't want to fuck with him neither. But wasn't that the intent of Bob? That's why he said it. How do you have somebody under contract? You and him have a contract together, and you shit on him in the public. Why would somebody do that? If not to besmirch his name and his reputation, to make people avoid him like the plague. But Hearn doesn't owe Terrence Crawford anything. Oscar doesn't owe Terrence Crawford anything. And Bob knew what he was doing. That's my speculation. Yeah, BG say, I'm just tired of all these crooked ass networks. Most of us are too. Yeah, I feel you, King. When is his next fight? Talking about Terrence? He's waiting on the winner of Ugas and Spence. He said, why is he scared to go to? I'm assuming you're gonna say PBC. He's not scared to. PGH, you got to think. And I'm just saying this. You know, if I'm a person who calls another person a bitch, talk about him like a dog, tell people to tell America, tell the world that you have no value, that we never intended in the past, present, or future of giving you a fight. We're not going to pay you. We don't care that Bob will pay you $6 million or $4 million or $5 million. We're not going to pay you shit because you're not worth that to us. Then y'all have to explain to me, or PGH, specifically you, where does the motivation come from in a man that goes and want to break bread with people who talk about him like that? He's not scared. You know, how do you strike up a conversation or talk to somebody who does not have no intentions of breaking bread with you? And they told the world this. This is why I'm protesting with the PBC. I could be been protesting the PBC for a lot of other reasons. I never did. They were doing me a disservice, wasting my black dollars. And I feel like when I spend my black dollars, they need to be respected. But I still bought the fight because I'm a boxing fan. But that Tim Smith interview, and we all saw that interview, and it was undeniably clear what he was saying. One, he admits, I never been in those conversations with Bud. Never sat down, never tried to negotiate, nothing. But we all know what Bud be getting in guarantees. And in our opinion, I'm paraphrasing at this point, in our opinion, he not worth what he was getting from Bob. We not going to pay him that. Matter of fact, we don't have intentions of ever paying him. We never did. We didn't back in the past. We didn't in the present. And we're not in the future. To that, my question was, that's your intentions. That's what you feel. Now, what is it that Bud can say to Tim Smith, who speaks for Al Heyman, to change his mind on that? Their mind is made up. They've been like that the whole time. The question I only had was, did you tell Earl? Did Earl know your full intentions and how you felt? That was my question. If you didn't tell Earl, aren't you doing him a disservice? Because Earl have to feel these questions. Why y'all not fighting? What's going on? Well, He has to come up with these reasons. And he's like in the dark. That's something you should do to your favorite fighter, the big fish, the heavy lifter. Should PBC do that to Earl? Earl is in the dark. He don't know nothing about this. He thinking that it's Bud in them. Bob is not interested in doing nothing for his black fighters. He likes to control them. Bob has, out his mouth, admitted it. Other fighters have admitted it. Other fighters have had to leave. And when they left, they did better. Bud said Bob ain't got. Bud got. Not sure what you meant by that, PGH. The answers are in front of all of us. It's not like we don't see them. As far as the suit goes, to me, Bud got to open the shut case. We shall see if the courts agree with him. He's not asking for $100 million. He's not asking for all of that. He has to prove that Bob did not live up to his end of the bargain. If you telling me I have to fight this person, and if I fight this person, you will give me this, that, and the other, and I fight that person and you don't give me this, that, and the other, don't I have a case? That is what the suit is about. Now, Bud could ignore him like a lot of fighters do, ride off into the sunset, and don't get his money. You know, it's not like other fighters haven't tried to sue Bob. Y'all know that Mikey Garcia went through a whole suit with Bob. All Bud said is, listen, we agreed verbally and in writing that you are to pay me XYZ if I do X ABC. I did ABC, but you didn't pay me XYZ. I need you to run me my money. That is what that suit is pretty much about. Now, when you go and sue somebody, there's a thing called discovery. And when you're in discovery, you have to open the books. And a lot of fighters who ain't got nothing to do with this case is going to find out a lot of stuff. A lot of business owners or people that Bob worked with is going to find out a lot of stuff that Bob might not want to be out there in the atmosphere, out there in the cloud. Bob is not going to want all that out there. But that's the beauty of when you have to sue somebody. You have to open up your books. You have to open up everything. And when you take somebody to a suit, it is all public record. So now all that stuff you did in the dock, Bob Arum, even Terrence Crawford, because discovery go both ways. It has to come to light. But you got to look at the intent. Terrence Crawford don't care. He knows this. He was advised this. Bob is a lawyer. He knows this. And Terrence still went through with the suit. The only person that Terrence Crawford can legally sue or get something out of for not honoring his wishes is Bob Arum. He cannot sue Errol Spence because Earl did not owe him anything. He cannot sue PBC because PBC don't owe him anything. He cannot sue Oscar or Hearn or anybody else because they don't owe him nothing. Why don't they owe him nothing? Because they do not have a contract with him. But you guys are advising or feel like he's making wrong moves because he won't sign with people who clearly show him and tell him he ain't shit and they don't care for him and he has no value. I don't understand that part. PPC feels Bud ain't shit. He has no value. And they never was going to do a deal with him. Straight out of Tim Smith's mouth. But even knowing that, a lot of you guys would say, Bud should sign with PBC. That's the better move. Why should he sign with people who hate him? There's other fish in the sea. Just like Errol Spence has a plan. Earl's on his third plan, by the way. Bud has a plan too. If Earl don't want to fight for whatever reason, Earl might can't get the fight because Earl is not a boss. He just simply ain't. And I'm not picking on him. He just not. I say this and say this and say this till I'm blue in the face, and I'll keep saying this until we as fans get this shit out of our head. Everybody ain't a boss. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. Because in order for good shit to happen, sometimes you need good followers. You need a lot of good followers. That's how the world works. And that's not a put down to anybody. But Earl Spence is not a boss because Earl Spence don't write no checks. Sounds good, looks good, but it ain't true. Y'all hit that like button. I can't be no more clearer than that. If there was another question that you had, PGH, I'd gladly answer that too. Like Tank, right now, Tank is not a boss. Do I say Earl, Tank, Devin, any of them can't be a boss one day? They most certainly can be bosses. But that depends on their temperament, their know-how, and their business acumen. Just because a person don't know how to be a boss doesn't mean that they wouldn't know how to make business decisions. You never heard me once, and I've heard this said, and I can't disagree with it, but I ain't gonna say it. Like, I'm not gonna feel it because, again, what a man do with his business is his business. But just like we advocate collectively, not me per se, but collectively in these YouTube streets, that Bud, when we was mad at him because he re-signed with Bob, I didn't like him re-signing with Bob. Bob showed him early enough that he won't for him. But he did that. That was his business. Something that he was getting that was better than, it was more worth it than why I thought he shouldn't be with him. Same thing I'm going to say to Earl. PBC don't do Earl right. They don't. He got this fight with Ugas, right? This is for 3 belts. And the best they can guarantee this man is $1.5 million. I showed that on here too. You think that's fair? I don't. That's highway robbery. That's you telling Earl, the big fish, he has no value. To me, it's a slap in the face. And I'm sincere when I say that. But that's how PBC does. See, PGH, we're not going to get away from the business of boxing because it is what it is. There's no regulation. There's nothing to secure them from a lot of BS that be going on. You can't do shit like this in baseball. You can't do shit like this in basketball, football. There's too many rules and regulations. Rightly so. But boxing hasn't been clamped down as of yet. And maybe one day they will. Y'all remember that I was advocating that you guys call y'all congressmen. I was advocating. I did it for a couple of weeks straight, calling the congressman. Never could get through, but I left messages with actual people. Did it get passed on? No. I don't know. I can say that. I don't know. But I was advocating that the government looks into these sanctioning bodies with all this corruption. Because I wanted the corruption to be attacked from that prong, from that point of view. Why? Because these sanctioning bodies is about money. Greed is what's messing up boxing and the corruption of it all. Now, sanctioning bodies supposed to be nonprofits. Well, when you're a nonprofit, that directly ties into how much taxes you're going to pay. You get a break, so to speak, much like the church. You get a 501c. So pretty much everything you bring in is yours to keep. But there's rules to that shit. And I showed y'all the WBAs and I showed you guys the WBC and how they're not following the rules of the 501c. And all it takes is one congressman to shine some light on that shit. But you know, with this recent activity and how the United States government feel about Daniel Canahan and all his affiliations with these boxers, because I'm sure the boxing community knows this, but now governments and other leaders of countries knows this. They don't like this man because of his criminality factor, the cartel of it all. And when you want to get at somebody, you follow the money. You want to know the truth, you follow the money. So now, since the Interpol and the Irish police have put out, anybody affiliated with, messed with, linked up with Daniel Canahan and his family, you are now considered part of that cartel as far as we concerned, and a part of a criminal network that's criminality and drugs. Now, if countries, to include Interpol, is actively trying to get at the Canahans, and they're looking a little slippery to get at, what better way to get at them through the people they're affiliated with? As y'all saw right away, when that shit came out, Bob dropped Daniel Canahan like a hot potato. Mauricio Suleiman is corrupt too. And maybe me and a couple of other folks calling our congressman and be like, yo, look into that 501c when it comes to Mauricio. Maybe that'll make him get some act right. Maybe they didn't budge on that, but I think they'll budge now. They offer $5 million for any information that can lead to the arrest of Daniel Canahan or his father or his brother individually. $15 million if you get all three. It behooves Oscar, Bob, Eddie, and anybody else to ensure that you are not linked up with Daniel Canahan, DeBella, who is Probellum, who is. Y'all got to drop him like a hot potato too. Mauricio Suleiman from the WBC, who is. Okay, Mauricio, you don't care because you own the sanctioning body. Not only do you own them, you work out of Mexico. That's where your offices are. Mexico have different rules than America. We cannot apply American rules to Mexico. But this is where Mauricio mess up. He do a lot of business in America. When you do business in America, you fall under our domain. That's why Pacquiao had IRS problems. Pacquiao is not an American citizen. He belongs to the Philippines. But he made his money in America. So you got to pay Uncle Sam. They gives a fuck. Where you from? You make some money in America, you gonna pay Uncle Sam. Mauricio is not paying Uncle Sam adequately. And you know Uncle Sam has a problem with people not running him his money. He don't care if you're born here or not. He has a problem with that. So it's nothing for America and their quest of trying to get at Daniel Canahan to get at everybody who's affiliated with him. Mauricio gonna find that out. If anybody in the government listening, look into his 501c. See if he following those rules. I'm sure you're gonna find just as easily as I saw that he doesn't. And it's real easy, y'all. Y'all pull up the rules of the 501c and then ask yourself, is Mauricio Suleiman following those rules? Real easy. But he's benefiting because he's under that 501c. So that money that he otherwise would have had to pay the IRS, aka Uncle Sam, he did. Uncle Sam don't like shit like that. Uncle Sam could freeze Mauricio's shit in the States. Take all his money. He could nationalize his ass. And then what would Mauricio say? You can go tell your president they ain't gonna do shit over here. Mexico president ain't gonna do shit over here. The best way to get it, folks, is to hit them in the pockets. We all know that. I could be as calm as I want to be and turn the other cheek. You start messing with my money, you might see another person. I believe that about all of us. Because we don't have time to be fiddle-dalling around and having folks mess with our money and stuff. Especially in these days and times. Shit is hard. Or harder. But PGH, I hope I answered your questions. If you got some more, yeah, I likely elaborate. I gladly elaborate. But that's what it boils down to. Bud Crawford is not homeless. He has a network. He has resources. Introbox and Fox Sports got all kinds of money. And he's in partnership with them. So if he's in partnership with them, you think they wouldn't come up with the money? I never said Terrence was the boss. I never hear Terrence say he a boss. But to say he make bad business moves, that's just not true. And I offered you the reason why I say it's not true. I'm just not saying he don't make bad business moves because he's Bud Crawford. I'm just telling you exactly why I think he doesn't make bad business moves. He might not make moves that all of us like, because some of his moves I didn't like. Namely, sign with Bob. I didn't like that. But just because I don't like it don't mean it's a bad business. Tay said he gonna have to take his side job. Who was he? They said he'll have the whole Mauricio clan work in that corner. You talking about Earl? The WBC gonna stand for We Be Collecting. Yeah, they corrupt. And it's obvious corruption. In your face, blatant corruption. Tay said, since they gonna be collecting at that corner. We don't know how it's gonna work out. Never have I seen them have a hard on for Daniel Kinahan like they do now. What happened? In my show yesterday, I said, what happened? What changed? Y'all been knew this man was corrupt. Anybody who understands and been around hustlers, and like me, I got families who are good hustlers. I mean, immediate family, good hustlers, can break you down to your stocks. I personally am not. I chose not to be. Don't make me a saint. It's just not in me to do. Not something I aspire to do. You know why I don't do it? It's simple for me. I don't like when people hustle me, so I cannot bring myself to hustle people. It don't mean I ain't been around it. It don't mean I don't know the skills of it. Because I know it. I know how to do it. It's just not in me to do it. It's foreign to me. It doesn't make me a better person at all. That's not what I'm saying. I don't want nobody to think that I'm putting people down that just do hustling. It's just not me. Some people do it. I don't do it. I choose to live my life differently. That's all. I don't need a metaphor neither. Tay said the WBC, you gonna see him handing out cheeseburgers if you catch my drift. They need to take that sanctioning body from him. You cannot be out there fooling and hustling the United States government in broad daylight. They're not going to take kindly to that. I always say this. A lot of people think, because they run with this narrative too, the government all in your business. They try to run you. They try to control you. That's why we can't wear a mask. That's why we can't get our vaccination. Let me tell you, as a person who worked for the government for 20 years, they don't give a fuck about you. You can only make them give a damn about you. And y'all can take that to the bank. I just gave y'all a little nugget. You can make them give a care about looking at what you're doing and doing what you. They got so many fish to fry. There's so many close calls and crises that go on every minute of the day. They don't give a damn about you. You have to shine that light on yourself. You have to do something so egregious that makes them care. You know, when y'all look at these movies and the movie, the guy has a regular life or whatever, and something kind of happened that he get caught up in some shit, and now the government involved, and the government lay his life down in front of him. Like, yeah, we know everything about you. But they been there. Even if they didn't know, it ain't hard to know. But something happened that put you on their radar. And if they can lay your whole life in front of you and be like, yeah, we know everything about you, then why haven't they come and got that person or did nothing? Because they don't care. A lot of people out here doing bad or wrong things, they don't give a shit. I'm telling y'all. That's why I be tripping when people be, having this misdirected anger and be mad. I swear to God, y'all, I can't tell y'all how I know. I know. They don't care. Y'all be worried about nothing. But if you want them to care, they will. But you gotta want them to care. They don't like laundering money. Daniel Kinahan made them want to care. He been around for a long time. Ain't no secret to him and his father and his brother's family and what they do. They've been around a long time. They was like, shit, he ain't American. He ain't our problem. But now, he did something that they was like, this nigga our problem now. We got to get him. If it won't so much as Interpol intervening and saying, America, we need your help because this is what's going on. America's going to answer that call, y'all. Why? Because when America need Interpol, they need Interpol to answer the call when they call. Puff, yeah. That could be the simple reason why Daniel found himself in the predicament he is in now. But whatever he did and whatever he said, he's public enemy number one now. He may wiggle his way out of it. He may dissipate it off into the sunset. Who knows? But they link it, you better believe his affiliation with boxing gives all these countries that want his ass. It ain't just America. It's not just an American problem. It's a European problem too. But laundering money or this boxing affiliation might be the door that these countries and Interpol and whatever needs to open to get at him once and for all. Apparently his parents know how to tie up loose ends. But they might can't tie up no loose ends when you got all these other fugazi ass motherfuckers that you affiliate with. Bob Arum is a crook. We know this. Eddie Hearn can be a crook too. We know this. Oscar is a crook. We know this. We damn sure know Mauricio is. The fella. If you want to say they all alleged crooks, we know they do crooked shit. They do unfair shit. And it's all for the love of money. We know this. but they ain't no criminal on the level of a Daniel Kinahan. So let's see how much they have loyalty. They're not gonna have no damn loyalty. But they love spending that man's money. And I bet you look at them like, you funky motherfuckers. Y'all will take my money. You know what I'm saying? They know how to get you when they want to get you. But again, you have to make them want to get you. And I named the agencies that are bothered by Daniel Kinahan. And then the agencies you don't ever want to fuck with. You don't want to fuck with Homeland Security. I don't care who you are, where you are. You don't ever want no problems with them. You don't want no problems with the Department of Treasury. You don't ever want no problems with them. You don't want no problems with DEA and ambassadors to different countries that we have. But hey, I don't know who he pissed off. He pissed off a lot of people. But again, I'm not sealing Daniel Kinahan's fate. I think he may wiggle out of it. It ain't my problem. We're gonna see. But boxing has offered them a wide ass door to walk through to get that old boy. They said, no, I want those problems. You said you want those problems. I'm talking about problems with the government. Tay, you don't want no problems with no government. You can live your life where you dabble in criminality here and there. You're not fooling nobody. Let me shut my mouth. I promise you could. Nobody cares. You have to make them want you to care. That's why that conspiracy theory shit, I just laugh at shit like that. I ain't paid my taxes for 18 years. Tay, you ain't. Tay, you funny. You are 18. You say, yes, I do. Tay, go ahead on with that. You 18 right now. You funny, son. They over there talking about they ain't paying taxes in 18 years. You 18. Talk about. Tay, trust me, you don't want that problem. I know you joking. I know you joking. I call you Prince sometimes because just not that you're not a man, Tay. I don't want you to ever think that. But you know, to me, you're like a baby. And you're not a baby, but to me, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm so much older than you. He said, yeah, I don't have any money, so OFC, I don't pay taxes. What's OFC, Tay? Teach me something. What's that acronym for? But you guys, I'm going to dip off into this next story. So we talked about Dillian White. We talked about why I ain't mad at him. I dipped off into yesterday's story, and again, I'm happy that it's getting some tractions. I didn't think that it would. You know, I didn't never hear nobody talk about it. I talked about it yesterday, and I see people are picking that up. It's important for us to know in boxing. Remember, I'm not going to get into people's personal shit. Daniel Kinahan, him being a criminal, is his personal business. I really don't care, but it's bleeding into boxing. When it bleeds into boxing, I'll talk about it from that aspect. They said, yeah, I'm very, of course. Okay. Guys with these acronyms, boy, woof. I'm trying to catch up, Tay. I'm trying. Now, I asked you guys, should Tank sign with Oscar De La Hoya? Anybody want to weigh in or say anything? I already put the link in the chat. Y'all want to? I asked you, do you think that Tank should sign with Oscar? Because Oscar putting that shit out on Front Street. to sign with Golden Boy. And I, for one, say, why not? The only reason I say why not, because I'm looking at what Tank can do. Tank is not a businessman. I don't see that in him. I don't even see that he has a team capable of navigating a serious contract for himself. Tank don't got enough money to put up. The good thing with being with TMT is you're not worrying about money, because the money gonna be there. Now, it remains to be seen if the extension to Al Heyman goes with him, exiting stage left from Mayweather. We don't know that. I say I don't know that. We can speculate all day, but I don't know if that means the same for Al. But Oscar is promising pay-per-view. He wants a 3-fight deal, and he's promising all of them pay-per-view. Can Oscar deliver pay-per-views that make a lot of money? If you want to go by his past and his record, the answer would be yes. As I said, Floyd Mayweather is the billionaire he is today on the strength of Oscar. Not just because I don't want you to take it like I'm saying he owes Oscar. He did business with Oscar, and that's where he accumulated the bulk of his money when he was with Golden Boy. So we can't sit up here and say Golden Boy can't deliver that. Oscar, whatever he is, the craziness, the fishnets and black pantyhose, all that shit, whatever we can say about Oscar, the motherfucker was the truth when it came to him boxing and getting in that ring. Oscar faced air. He wasn't no duck. He was a true fucking warrior, and he was the goods. So from his calculus, he feel like fighters should feel like him and do like him. You pick this sport. It's a dangerous sport. It's a hard sport. But if you're scared, this ain't for you. You're supposed to get in there and war it out. That's what you owe the fans. That's what you pick. That's the type of man Oscar is. And he can say that with a straight face because that's what he did. So you think Oscar would save Tank from an potential ass whooping or a hard fight? No. Oscar don't have the motivation to do that. Oscar favors Mexicans too. We know that Oscar had racist emails. You think he gonna do a black person a solid by trying to save him? No. But Oscar know that Tank can make him money. So Oscar will throw him in there for whatever motivation you can see. If it's just to make the money and or get Tank ass whooped, he'll do it. But this is supposed to be some of the reasons why Tank is leaving Mayweather in the first place. Because they're not moving him right as far as getting him the fights that's going to secure his legacy. But I won't put the whole jacket on Floyd. Floyd knew who he was dealing with. You don't think that Floyd could glean that it was all about money for Tank? When we want to point fingers at people, we have to look in the mirror and point it back at us. People can't do to you what you don't allow them to do. So I don't cake for Bud for that. I don't cake for nobody for that. They were like, Miss T, but you cool with Bud making his suit. That's his recourse. But Bud ain't gonna sit up here and chop it up and be crying and shit and acting like he a victim. No. And that's not what he doing. He like, I got played, I got used. He didn't honor our agreement. Well, what can I do about it? I can't go beat his ass up. I know, I'll take him to court. That's all of our recourse. I'm out the contract, now I can sue him. Tay said they would be great together. They would be dancing in fishnets and in their drawers, doing spatula tricks together. I hear you, Tay. It would be great business. Ryan Kardashian may get in that world as well. Especially the field part. They both gonna be in the outer space. I'ma join. He just dropped the link. I'ma let him cook. You got me cracking up over here. There you go, Prince. I think it's cool. You can't say Oscar never delivered pay-per-views. What did Floyd say? He said, "You line them up, I smash them down." Oscar, even though he was doing business with Floyd, he desperately wanted Floyd to lose. Oscar got a chip on his shoulder about Floyd because Floyd beat his ass. Every fighter that Oscar organized with Golden Boy when Floyd was with them, he wanted Floyd to lose. This will be the one. Here you go. He was hoping and praying, but he also was making money. It was win-win for everybody. Floyd knew they threw killers at him. Floyd just knew he was better. And what did Floyd say? I find a way to win. What else did Floyd say? You might as well call me Golden Boy because I done beat everybody on your squad. Oscar he left no stones unturned trying to find somebody to beat Floyd ass. You don't think he'll do that to Tank? What does that mean for us as boxing fans? We're going to get some fights we want to see. We're going to get some good fights. We're going to see Tank tested. We're going to be able to say with a straight face, oh, that nigga right there is the truth. What's up, Tank? What you got on?
What's up, man? I just wanted to talk about it. I think it'll be great for Tank, Oscar may teach him a little thing what a spatula and a fishnet can do. I think it will increase Tank's boxing's ability and we'll see a whole new side of Tank.
He'll be doing that. He said the fishnet and the spatula.
Yeah.
He said he's going to cook them and flip them over.
Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen. So Tank should do that.
Yeah, I agree. Tank, and why do you think? Because I agree that if Tank, the best option is to, be your own man. Don't sign and be a free agent. That is always going to be the best option because you get in these deals and you sign these deals and then you find out later because you can read the small print that it was never advantageous to you. So in light of that, keeping that as a factor, why do you think it's still a good deal for Tank to sign with him?
It just depends what he wants to do. I think the zone will give him a large amount of money to fight anyone. But it's like this Tank actually, people keep talking about Tank wants to fight these big guys, but it don't seem like he really wants to. Like he seems like he's scared. Every single thing he said about Mayweather, he deleted. I thought he from B-More. Oh, I'm from B-More. I'm from this. I'm from that. I'm from that. But you scared. You hiding behind a computer when it comes to Mayweather. Like, come on.
Mayweather had him by the nuts.
Yeah,
they did have him by the nuts. I mean,
so that's why he was dancing like that. He lost all his masculinity. That's why he was dancing in drawers.
I don't know if I was
video. He was dancing in his drawers. He was like doing all type of stuff. I was like, "What is this?"
So I'm gonna look that up.
I thought it was funny. Rolly posted it on his TikTok. I thought it was funny. He would like play a clip of Tank. Like, I'm from B-More, and then have him dancing in his drawers.
That's crazy.
Funny. But Rolly funny online. Rolly funny. He a punk in person, but online Rolly funny.
Rolly is remedial.
Yeah,
and that's the nicest way I could say it. I thought that from day one. I still think it. But he's a high functioning remedial person. There's some out there like that, but I can sense that about him. So fighting might be the only thing that he can do. This is why I say, Oscar, this might not be such a bad idea. Tank does not have the wherewithal to navigate through business decisions. He just don't. He's probably at this moment in his life a better follower, meaning working for someone than he is at leadership.
Mhm.
And ain't nothing wrong with that, Tay. We all start out as followers. We morph into leaders. And Tank will in his own time. But at this moment, right here, right now, he's not. Tank
He'll be
would,
leading.
what'd you say?
I say, yeah, he'll be leading those parades in June.
He at this moment he doesn't. I don't see how he can secure him a network and secure him a fight, to the caliber that he wants and for the money he wants. He's not.
That's what I'm
He's not
saying.
at that moment in his life.
Does he want to fight guys of top tier caliber?
I think he does a little bit, but
Based
we
on what?
but really don't know.
I mean, I remember a dude posted a video. He said he felt set up when he tried to fight Pedraza. Like, you feel set up for Pedraza, then what? How good do you think you are? I think Tank is really talented, but I think he has to want to take the reins of his career. He has to want to fight these guys, and he can't keep like he has to come out and call out names. Has he ever called a dude out ever?
A little bit,
Been like no,
but
been like in an interview. I want to fight this guy.
nah, I
Not
never
let
seen
someone
him
go
really
through
do.
him. Like Coach Cunningham said, "Oh, we want to fight Lomachenko. Lomachenko busy. He want to
Right.
fight Loma, and then he gonna fight Devin after. So you're gonna fight Lomachenko after he already lost 3 times now. After he lose to Devin,
Yeah, but see, here's the thing: Tank definitely succumb to the money aspect of it because his talk is, "I make money. I got money." His talk ain't, "I want to be the best. I want to fight the best." But I don't think he's scared. I think he knows that Mayweather and them were moving him with lesser opponents, but at the same time getting a big reward from it. So when you look at the calculus like that, you have to be able to also see that the day come when you fight somebody big, you're gonna get an even bigger reward. You know what I'm saying? If you getting rewards for fighting people you can beat, you know, and tailor made for you, what you gonna get when you fight somebody of some competition or of some note? And I think Tank saw that and he was complicit with it. He was complicit with it. When I say you're complicit with it, you ain't stomping your feet lighting the match. You ain't raising hell at the moment. But at the same time, I'm a firm believer in we all can make, bad mistakes, bad moves, unwise decisions. All of us. But when you sign a contract, please know you're there for the duration. Whether you didn't know or did know, ignorance is not other people's fault. It's yours. So, like when I signed to do them 20 years in the Navy, guess what? I signed it. Nobody should cry for me, care about what I went through or anything. I signed that.
uh-huh,
I knew what the deal was, and I signed it anyway.
uh-huh.
I lost a lot. I have regrets, some regrets, but overall, I don't. But I signed it, so it was business until as usual until it's not. Meaning your contract runs out, and so Tank did something really smart here lately. Can you guess what it was? I'm asking
Um,
you, Tank.
you mean like bucking his head? Like that's what you mean? Like where he's like, oh, this and that, but he's still not doing anything. Like I don't. I feel like to me, it feels like if he really, really, really wanted to make some change in his career, he really could have stepped like like he really could have put his foot down way earlier. Who do they have besides you, Tank? They have no one. Who are you gonna make into a star? Rolly Ramiro? He can't even read his own. He can't even spell out his own name. Saying like he's not.
Look, did you ever see the interview that Mickey Bay gave to
No,
Black Fight Fan? You should check
no.
that out. You should go and the one to check out.
Oh,
He did a
is that the one where he was like the guy was stealing money from him?
yeah. He was talking
I
to.
never I never watched it fully, but I got the details.
Okay, so in the part of that video, and Black Fight Fan said he gave everybody permission to share it. I'm not gonna try to pull it up right now this late in the hour.
Mm.
But Vicky Bay basically, and I'm paraphrasing, basically was like they know what they doing to you, and sometimes you might not know. They get the jump on you. They'll put something out in social media, and then you have to combat against that. You have to refute that. You have to kill that narrative, and it's all you can do to kill that narrative. You'll spend more time trying to kill that narrative or set the record straight than you would trying to further your career. And it does have drawbacks, and it will affect you negatively. All you got is your name in this world. So Tank, to his credit, recently he jumped the gun by letting us know, oh, this is the last fight, and they trying to give me the kiss goodbye out, because like when you a good fighter and they want you and you're a good product in boxing, they'll throw the wolves at you on your way out the door. Because not only are they gonna besmirch your character and make you look crazy out here in these boxing streets where nobody's going to touch you, but at the same time, they're gonna hand you that loss. They're gonna try to hand you that loss. They did it to Mayweather too. That's why I'm like, it's hard for me to even comment on it and stuff. Is if y'all think that Pretty Boy wasn't throwing a whole lot of shit at Pretty Boy, hoping he'll lose, y'all crazy. But Pretty Boy did that.
I'm surprised he wasn't robbed ever.
I don't know what that noise was. Would you scratch something?
Yeah, I was scratching my computer.
Oh, okay. That shit came through loud and clear. But
Oh,
but you know
yeah.
what, Floyd knew that they was doing that, but he beat them at their own game. He won. Because in the end of the day, it's all about the win. It's the victory. But
Yeah, but I mean,
desperately, they threw it at him.
he didn't get robbed ever. I thought he didn't get robbed ever. I mean, even if he like we saw like with that thing on Fox with the Michael Fox thing, he beat that man clearly, and they still robbed him. So I'm like, I don't know how he got away from that stuff.
Well,
Yeah,
Floyd was fortunate enough to come in the era that he did. Floyd beat people so convincingly. Pretty Boy was knocking motherfuckers out.
yeah, I know he had
You
an
know what I'm saying?
87% knockout rate, but I mean, he wasn't knocking every. I guess, and then you can say he was knocking everyone out, and like I'm surprised they didn't rob him in the Castillo fight, the first one.
Right, but you also got to agree too, or take this into factor. Floyd was royalty. Roger Mayweather was a name. You won't talk about somebody who just truly, truly got it from the mud. Floyd did get his props from the mud more than a lot of fighters today. And back then, Pretty Boy wasn't saying he was the boss. He changed persona when he became Money Mayweather. And even as Money Mayweather, he wasn't saying he was the boss. He was like, shit, I got the money. That's all that matters. And in that era, we had songs like, I don't know if it came out during that time, but around that time, Money, Power, Respect, the key to life. You might be too young to remember stuff like that. But
Yeah, I'm too
Lil
young.
Kim song. It's a Lil Kim song. But everybody was like, first you get the money, then you get the motherfucking power. Then when you get the power, it's the key to life. But if you think about it realistically in life in general,
Doesn't
people who
Lil
have
Kim look like a
money
Barbie
have power.
doll?
Was she what?
Don't she look like a Barbie doll?
I think I love Lil Kim. Lil Kim, if you listening, she was one of
I've
my
seen her
favorite
before.
rappers. But I gotta be honest. I think that God made you perfect the way you are. I don't care who you are, and you have to. If you take care of yourself,
Dang,
then
she looked different.
then you will grow old gracefully. And so all this additives and changing what God made perfect, I'm not with it. But to each
Wasn't
his
she
own.
with Biggie? Yeah, I think I know her.
Yeah, she was with Biggie. That was her road dog. That was her dog in many ways. But she in her later years felt like she needed to do some additives, and I feel like she didn't. She was perfect and beautiful the way she was. But to each his own. To each his own. If God made you, only time I can say it's hard. I don't like changing up things completely, but we wear braces in life. people get their nose fixed.
I had to
Uh,
wear braces.
you did?
Yeah,
Me
they're
too.
off now.
And it still messed up. I think you still messed up because it didn't do what I was trying to make it do because they dropped the ball. But it's neither here or there. But people do that. They'll alter themselves with braces. They'll alter themselves by getting a nose fixed. Women who don't have breasts at all will get their
Yeah.
breasts, and I understand that. I just never understand if you got breasts and you get more. That I don't understand.
Mhm.
I don't understand butt jobs and stuff like that. That shit, that's the last place you should do some shit like that. It's not good in the long run. You know what I'm saying? But to each his own, and people will take the lesson that come with whatever choices they make. But back to Oscar. Oscar is proven that he can throw pay-per-views. He did it with Floyd. And Tank got a good head start. He can get some money for Tank with the pay-per-view. And what he's guaranteeing Tank is a fight with Garcia. He is
Yeah,
asking Tank to call him. He's asking him.
so if he fights with Ryan Garcia, what is that? I mean, people say Ryan Garcia a big star, but I don't think he that much big. Ryan Garcia is a prospect in my eyes.
Ryan Garcia disappointed this weekend overall. But
He's not a good fighter. I don't think
the
he's
only
good
thing
at
that
all.
he did that was good this weekend is telling the truth at the end. Like what he had to say about stuff at the end.
I have a
Which
question.
was the
Even if
part
he's, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but even if he is signed to fight Ryan Garcia, Ryan, who says Ryan Garcia is not going to pull out?
that's why I praise Isaac Cruz for inventing the duck clause when it comes to fighters like Ryan Garcia. Cause when you sign up for a fight, you start spending money. And Ryan Garcia is notorious for ducking out of a fight. So what Isaac Cruz say, yeah, we cool with it as long as y'all pay us regardless. If he pull out, you gotta still run me some money. Might not be the exact amount that you was gonna pay me for the fight, but you gotta run me some money. Cause I didn't pay for tickets, hotels, training, gyms. You can't just let that be in vain. Oscar quickly did in that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
Ryan has come out and admitted that, whatever. That fight with Tago that he had, that was a setup. Because had Isaac Cruz been in there, he'd have got his ass whooped.
Yeah, he sucks.
Straight up. But Ryan do draw people. I mean, we have to keep it 100. He do draw people.
He draws
Him
little
and Tank,
girls.
their mama just got money and their daddy got money. Whether they like you, Tay, or whether they don't like you, their money is green and it spends.
Okay.
That's how.
He's gonna have a
Sometimes
bunch of
that's
little
got to be your
girls.
bottom line. Mm?
Never mind. I said so. Tank is gonna have now a bunch of little girls as a fan base.
No,
I'm
no.
joking. I'm joking.
They may not. Tank mess with grown women. He's a father. So is Ryan. They both got two children. They both got two daughters.
Yeah.
But Oscar promises money and great fights. I believe Oscar can deliver that
So
if
if you,
Oscar don't shelve him.
so now how many times you want to fight Ryan? So let's say he knocks out Ryan Garcia cold.
Mm-hmm.
He still has 2 fights left. Who is he gonna fight?
Whoever one of the top lightweights. But
Who?
here's the thing: it could be Devin if Devin stay down there. It could be George. It could be if
George is
Lomachenko
at
come out. You're not really counting George. I mean Lomachenko, but if T.O. want to stay down there, you got Comey, you got Isaac Cruz, you got other
he's
people you can
washed. I don't consider Cole.
fight. But the thing is, here's the thing: we could count on Oscar to be Oscar. If Oscar putting black, because he don't have, in my opinion, all the time. He kind of like Bob. He don't got black fighters at best interest at heart. But Oscar will throw him in there with the Wolves. But that's what Tank needs.
That's what I'm saying.
He
I
needs
get what
that.
you're saying, but like, okay. So Devin Haney may be on the hold all until the whole next year. Not even counting this year. He may be on hold for a fight, for fighting, and then he's gonna move up to 140. So then he's gonna be gone unless they're gonna go up to 140. And Devin Haney's not gonna fight Tank at his first fight at 140. I don't believe.
Devin
Um,
Haney has shown that he would never duck nobody. At least
yeah,
that's
but
what
I
he.
don't think he's gonna fight him in his first fight. He'll probably he once. Cause I'm trying to do like a timetable for this. So let's say he's gonna have to fight on June this year. Let's say he beats him, he's gonna have to refight him again. When would that be, like November or something? And then he's gonna have to go into a Lomachenko bout. So he may be covered up for the whole entire year and beyond. And then he may move up to 140 and drop all those
But
belts
he
and
can on
challenge
that
for.
third fight. Once
Huh?
he get those belts and once he do the rematch, he Devin can drop them belts and move up to 140. So that third fight that he's obligated with, Bob Arum, he can be at 140. Tank can go to 140 as well.
They gonna want him to fight Lomachenko. I don't think, unless his own's gonna outbid them.
They can want all they want until that war is over. Lomachenko is not available.
When you think the
So
war's gonna stop?
nobody knows. We can't
Well,
even
okay.
put a date on that. So we can't even make plans for that.
And then George,
But
if
there's
Devin beats George twice, it's over for George. I don't
it's
think he has any value. Except
George
for
don't got no value right now, in my
that's what I'm
opinion.
saying. Yeah, he don't have nothing. He just has a bunch of belts that
It's
casuals like. Cause Canelo did it. No one cared when Bud did it, but because their little favorite leprechaun Canelo did it, now everyone cares.
as soon as George fights one of these top lightweights, his belts are gone.
Yeah, I think so too.
If he did a rematch with Tio,
He
his
would
belts
lose.
are gone. And George knows it. So George is betting on himself and maximizing his potential. Because $10 million is $10 million. You give me $10 million, not only am I straight, but my kids are straight. And
It's
maybe their kids are straight. If you
if I
spend your money correctly.
if I'm Georgia, I may lose this fight on purpose so I can rematch him again
Well,
and get
he's
anything
got a
from him.
rematch. He don't have to lose. He can try his best. He's getting a rematch. And it's to his favor. That's
No, no,
crazy.
no. So I'm saying, but if he okay, so let's say George wins this fight.
Mhm.
You think he gonna rematch Devin Haney again?
He has to. It's already baked in the cake.
I thought
The,
George
con-
decides
yeah.
that.
The contract they've already signed, the contract that they just entered has it so that they're gonna fight. Whoever wins, it don't matter. They will have to rematch. The rematch is in there already.
Just
So
George.
it's two
Okay.
fights with George, one fight with somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so he can fight
And if
anyone for that third fight. I thought
yeah,
it's
so it's
basically
three fights altogether.
okay.
Just like what Oscar is offering Tank. You're gonna be with me for three fights. Now Tank just gotta orchestrate that contract in a way that's advantageous to him. And there's a way to do it. He gonna have to find somebody to do him right. Oscar is not caring what Floyd say. So any kind of reprisal or revenge that Floyd wants to exact on Tank because he's leaving, Oscar ain't gonna help him do it. But don't think that Oscar won't try to take his leverage either. Tank just got to be smart in the moves that he make. He may make a mistake. He may make an unwise decision. But Tank right now today is in no position to navigate the business side like on his own. He's going to have to get somebody he can trust that's going to help him put together a contract. Tank cannot orchestrate nothing by himself. He ain't got the capital to put a fight on for himself. So the free agent thing is sound good, but we got to look at the caliber of the person you're talking about. If
Tank
this
is a
was
big
Floyd
star.
Mayweather, no problem. What you say?
Tank is still a big star though.
He's a star, but that don't translate into business. All I'm saying, like for instance, think about it like this: if Floyd was in Tank's position right now with all the money he got, Floyd ain't worried about no networks. He ain't worried about putting up the money for the fight. He can do that and then
Why
take
can't Tank do
all
that?
the money.
You
They
think Tank
can't
don't
do
have
that.
no money?
Tank don't got enough money. When you put the money up for the fight, you have to pay all the fighters. There's 15 fights that go on. We just only see four.
No, I'm
It
saying
could be
10.
15 to 20 fights. You got to pay all those folks.
I think with the right guy, he can just sign to fight someone.
But again, he can't do it alone because he don't have the capital. So he have to go in partnership or in conjunction with or sign to somebody because
Why
he
can't he be
doesn't
like
have the
an
money.
Why can't he be like a Devin Haney, where he like technically a network free agent, but he still moves with the network.
Now, Devin Haney at this moment, right here today, he lost that privilege
Yeah,
because
now he's with ESPN. I'm saying when he was
he's
with the
with
Zone, he
Bob.
was
Yeah.
yeah. I'm saying he Tank can do something like that. The same thing with Devin Haney was doing before.
But listen, this is where I throw the wrinkle in that. Devin wasn't his own boss either, all the way.
Yeah, but
Devin had a better contract than most people in boxing and most people his age. So he made some, like ATL like to say, some boss moves. I think that Devin did well for himself because he had his. I think that Devin came in already set for life. It's a difference. Like, think about somebody like a Keyshawn Davis. I don't know if you're familiar with him, ex-Olympic. He
mm,
just came out of the Olympics. Keyshawn is signed with Bob or Jay Prince. I can't remember which one.
I think it's Jay Prince.
Keyshawn doesn't have no kind of backing, resources, capital, access to capital like Devin did. Devin came in, and I hate to use the word silver spoon in his mouth, but he already came in set. You know what I'm saying? It's easy when you already come in with somebody who know the game, like his father, and already had money. Devin was impressed. Whereas you got a fighter like a Keyshawn Davis who comes in with no money. He doesn't come for money. He doesn't have access to capital. He can't get a loan. He doesn't have the wherewithal to put none of that shit to his favor. So that's what Devin outshined a lot of people his age. Not to mention people his age, he was a better boxer. The level of skills he had was on the level of somebody who'd been doing it for at least 8 years or so, his senior. But to prove when I be saying that people don't have they're not their own boss, like they like to say, my bottom line is to
You got
say
Errol Spence. He ain't his own boss, and he claims he
he's
is.
not neither. If you don't
Always
have,
the
if you're
Al.
not spending your own money, you're not your own boss.
Al, his daddy.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
now look at Devin. Bob is his daddy. Bosses don't do that. So that's why I say cut that narrative because it makes us talk in a way that don't make sense. And then you'll find yourself arguing and debating with somebody because he's his own boss. No, he's not. He's not. Ray News said he needs help, Miss T. Tank says 10 to 15 he won't answer any question. Yeah, he did. He's come a long way though, right? Y'all think he came a long way though, right? Remember he couldn't talk at all.
How do these guys be so stupid? Like, I think they probably weren't paying attention in class.
No, you know what? Normally jocks are not academically astute.
Yeah, but you can still make clear sentences.
You are
Shannon Sharp was a jock, but he still talks very smart and intelligent.
you know what? I would tell you this. That's not necessarily true. I see what you're saying. That can be pockets. I would say this. Sometimes it can be true. Most times it won't. If you ever heard how I talk when I was your age, shit, you would think that I wasn't smart. Matter of fact, people thought I wasn't smart. But I was a victim of my surroundings. I grew up very poor. So I talk like the people that was around me.
Yeah, no. Tank talks like a dude from B-More.
Yeah. But when I came into the Navy and I was able to be around other folks from all walks of life, my vocabulary changed. And while I was in the Navy, I was always elevating myself. I always went to school. So just getting my 3 degrees have made me
3 degrees? How long did that take? 12
forever,
years?
forever, ever, forever, ever. Because I was still active duty military, which that was my job that came first. So I had to slow walk it. I would take a class at a time. And before I knew it, I looked up after so many years, here come the first degree. And then when I retired, I got another degree. And then after that degree, I got another degree. So I ain't Barbara Badass. I am academically astute, and I
Mhm.
was an athlete. I wasn't an elite athlete, but I was a good athlete. So I was blessed in that way. It depends on what you're blessed with. Some people, like, I have people in my family who are not academically astute, but however, they smarter than me. You understand? So you have capabilities. Don't mean just because you didn't formally exact your capability, don't it doesn't question how smart you can be. But you are a creature of your environment. So
Uh-huh.
if in your environment everybody talks well, then you will talk well. Like my daughter talks so perfect. I wonder where she get it from. Because all her life she had to listen to me. And I promise you I don't talk perfect. I talk better than I did. That's it.
Yeah.
Caesar's in the building. He said, salute. Salute to you, King.
I was looking it over there. You think Tank can sign his name in cursive?
I'm sure he can.
I know.
I
Like,
think the fame of it all and the pressure of it all, he was tongue tied. Now he's comfortable. Look how he talk now. He speak up for himself. I think he comported himself in his interviews here lately, and it showed me that you've grown, young man. You've grown, but baby steps. Baby steps. He's going to get it one day. He can make boss moves. I believe in him. However, today ain't that day.
yeah,
Right
I don't think
now,
that's good
here
next year.
today, ain't that day. So now, where do you go when you're not business astute? You're not ready for that. Take it. Tank can take what Oscar's given,
How
which
much
is
time he have left? He's 27.
you got your whole life.
Oh, I meant like boxing wise when he can be business.
Oh well, you box until you can't do it no
35.
more. I mean, normally when you get in your early 30s, people see the decline in their physicality. Everybody does.
But they
So
say Canelo was in his prime. He in his prime.
yeah,
They say he's only gonna get better.
he's in his early 30s. Canelo will be able to go a little bit more further than others. You're familiar with Paulie Malignaggi?
Yeah, the racist.
Paulie, you saw his decline as soon as he got in his 30s.
But I never watched. I only saw Paulie get beat up, so I ain't really watch him in his glory days.
Paulie, when you look at him, he know fundamentals. If you listen to him, he knows boxing.
Yeah,
But
I used to like
Paulie,
50 Cent then when he talked.
Paulie doesn't have
Power.
power
I don't know.
at all. And Paulie, you would think could be easily beaten. There's no reason you should look at Paulie and say, this motherfucker been a champion several times, but he was because he knows how to box. So this is why I favor real boxers over people who are flash in the pants or athleticism. It's great to have athleticism, but can you really box? This is the difference between, to me, Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford.
Errol Spence can box.
He can't box like Terrence,
No one can box like Terrence though. He's the best boxer in the world.
but that makes the difference right there.
Yeah, I
This is why
think.
I say you need. But
Yeah, I still think Errol can box though. But not, I mean, I think Terrence Crawford the best boxer in the world, and he's been the best boxer for how long was Floyd out the game for?
ooh,
2016 or some Floyd left.
Floyd kind of still in the game, but technically,
Yeah,
oh,
he
four or
fought
5 years
Canelo in
maybe.
13. Yeah, I mean, until that no, and then Andre Ward is better than him. But yeah, he's been the best boxer for a minute now, at least top three.
Yeah, in their own right. Terrence is a more complete fighter.
Way
He's
more
proven
complete
that.
fighter,
He's
and he
proven
don't
that
get
by
hit.
going through different weight classes and
Errol
doing the
got
same shit.
Yeah, Errol got 2 belts in 10 years, and his fans go crazy. We start getting the oil and everything. Ooh, Errol Spence, yeah, he the big fish. He got two
What you
belts in
saying?
10 years.
General Big Fish, you in here? you in That's his boy right there. And we always be telling him to put the oil down, put that oil down. And then outside fantasizing about some damn Earl Spence, put that oil down.
Yeah.
Yes, they do pick up that oil. See, he said agreed on Crawford. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Crawford's
So
best.
in the end, I'm for Tank trying his hand. He got to do something. As a free agent, he's not going nowhere. He don't have the wherewithal to put shit like that together. Not to share. Not because he can't, competency wise, he has to learn. Everything is about experience and learning. He allowed them to move him, and he sat back. I don't know if he picked up any lessons. The only glimmer of hope is the fact that he beat them to social media. Instead of them writing the narrative, he wrote it. That's what he did lately. That was the question I had asked you. What did he did lately that shows that he's improving? And he beat them to social media instead of letting them do a Mickey Bay on him.
I never knew what happened. I mean, yeah, I was too young. I didn't really know much of Mickey Bay, but yeah, I guess that's good for him. But yeah, you're right. I don't think he's emotionally ready enough.
Oh, Tay dropped out. He probably come back. L Dub is in the building. What's good, King? What's good? That's my man right there, L Dub. He be having the knowledge. Y'all go subscribe to L Dub. Matter of fact, every person you see in here, go hit a subscribe to their page and like it. Show the black love. Y'all hit that like button too. But in the bottom line, I don't have a problem with Tank signing with Oscar. I just will say, Tank, get you a damn good lawyer to go over any contract that's presented to you. Convey to your lawyer what you want. Something like this. I want X amount of fights per year. Have your minimum ready. Like, I would love 4 fights a year, but at the minimum, you will give me 2 fights a year. And if you don't, here's the penalty. And I want a minimum guarantee pay. Everybody always talking about this pay-per-view and on the back end. But as you see, Tank did about 50,000 pay-per-view buys his last fight. That can happen to anybody. That could happen to Earl Spence this week. I don't think so, but it could. So in your contract, have your minimum guaranteed pay. And put in a duck clause. Because Oscar gonna move funny with you by virtue of the fact that you are a black fighter. So if Oscar, him and Hall, or be out there trying to say that we got you set up for somebody to, fight. Like if they said we got you slated for Pacquiao. Let's say Pacquiao was coming back. Because I hear that Pacquiao ain't gonna win that election. If he haven't already lost, I don't know. But let's say Oscar try to entice people to watch your next fight and be like, oh, we gonna line you up with Pacquiao. Okay. Have it written in your clause that if you say something like that, or you advertise anything and then renege on it, you need to run me X amount of dollars. And all Tank got to do is get him a good lawyer, and he has the capital to do that. He has. I don't think that is a hard thing for Tank to be able to do, is to find him a good lawyer. Research your lawyer. Hold on. I'm sorry, I lost here. Can y'all hear me? I'm gonna type this. If y'all can hear me, tell me in the chat. Because my sound had went out in my headphones for a second. And I don't want to ramble on and y'all don't hear me. Can y'all hear me? But yeah, okay, cool. C's, thanks. So those 3 things that should start you off, Tank. That's how you do it. Because right now, at this moment today, you don't have the wherewithal to move in these business streets. Ain't nothing wrong with that. None of them do at first. They get to a point. That's what it's called learning. So that's what Tank need to do. I don't have a problem with him signing with Oscar. Oscar gonna feed you to the wolves. Just understand that. And as long as you understand that and you cool with it, because that seemed to be the prevailing theme in your exiting Mayweather, they're not giving you the challenging fights, and the fans are letting you know they ain't pleased with that shit, and you tired of the shit. You know what I'm saying? So that, I mean, start off there, Tank. You know, but in other news, Eddie Hearn is saying July 23rd is the cutoff date for AJ and Usyk rematch. Reports via Usyk's wife talks about the fact that he, in the first week of this ordeal that he in, the war with his country, he lost about 22 pounds in 1 week, probably from stress. That's understandable. But I have a problem with the way Eddie is couching this whole thing. It's like, oh, it's the way he said it. And I could be misinterpreting perhaps, but he's saying it like, oh, we ain't gonna get that rematch, and we by July 23rd, the time is gonna run out. But Eddie, he has a built-in legitimate motherfucking excuse. It's not like the court's gonna be like, oh, you missed your date. You guys have a built-in legitimate excuse. When he returned from war, if he returns the same, he can do what he do. The sanctioning bodies also have the leverage to take the belts if they want to. They can say, we tried to wait, but enough is enough. Boxing must go on. This is not the world's war. This is your two countries' war, and boxing can't wait for y'all. That's possible. That those things can happen. So again, built-in legitimate excuse. It's not foreign to us to think that while you're waiting for Usyk, AJ can go fight whoever. AJ can fight 5 people in the next year or two, lose all those fights, war be over, Usyk come back, and AJ will be right back in the saddle, because that part of the contract has to be honored. If the sanctioning bodies allow Usyk to keep his belts, they could make him a champion in recess and give the belts to somebody else, like they did strip Pacquiao and gave it to Ugas. I don't know why they would do that, and I don't know how they would do that, but this is a unique situation. This is one of them on-the-job learning curves that boxers or the boxing community has to face, and it'll be interesting to see how they work that out. As I say, it could be my interpretation of how Eddie is talking. It doesn't make sense. No matter what you do with AJ, Eddie, you will always have first dibs at Usyk when he do return. So if you and AJ decide, instead of sitting back being dormant, get out there and have some fights, then by all means, just hopefully AJ win everything. But even if he lose, it doesn't kick him out of line, because this is a unique situation. That's how I'm seeing it. If y'all see it differently, let me know. But I do not see the sanctioning bodies, because this is heavyweight, I do not see them holding it that long. It's a wonder. If this was, let's say, lightweight, they'd have been stripped of the belts, because they're not going to wait on the war. But this is heavyweight. This is the big deal. So they're giving Usyk a solid, which I think he earned and he deserves. But realistically speaking, we cannot sit here and wait for the war. It just is what it is. So we'll have to wait and see what the sanctioning bodies do. And as I say, AJ can fight whomever. And they don't want Fury. They don't even want Josh Taylor representing their belts. Fury served the purpose. They felt like somebody needed to humble Deontay. They couldn't take the man blackness, I guess. And so Fury was the man for the job. But Fury, is that their first pick? No. And with this shit going down with Daniel Kinahan, he really is a double no. That's why I believe Dillian White is gonna beat his ass. Unless Fury obviously beats him. If it's a close fight, Dillian gonna get the nod. I think they done with Tyson. Tyson did what he needed to do for them. And I bet you, if they strip the belts from Usyk, y'all mark my word, mark this time. I can see that if Dillian beats Tyson Fury, it would be a Dillian AJ fight for those belts. If they make they can't make nobody champion in resets like one person, but I can see that they put all those belts up at one time. It would be unfair to scatter the belts. I would say that, but these are unique situations, and nobody can get mad at these sanctioning bodies for dealing with something as unique as this. They're not going to wait on the war. So that was my thinking. Yaya Mayweather. Moving on. Just so y'all know, and some of y'all might not be keeping up with it, Yaya Mayweather pleaded guilty for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. That's a serious charge. The girl that she assaulted was LaPatra Lachey Jacobs. That's her name. I remember a little bit about it, that she was pregnant at the time. I think she lost her baby. I don't know for sure. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn on that one. If I am, I apologize, because that's serious. But I believe she was pregnant at the time. But they list this woman as one of NBA Youngboy's baby mama, which we know that Yaya Mayweather also has his son. She had a son by him. But she got to go back to court on June 16th for her sentencing. Now, the prosecutors themselves were supposed to be ready for Team LaPatra. They're suggesting 6 months probation, community service, or restitution. Restitution, that's the word that stuck out to me. That young lady is about to be rich, or a combo of all of them. Yaya Mayweather is 21 now, so she's going to be treated like an adult. But her family, Floyd Mayweather, being the father, he got enough money to throw money at that to make LaPatra be like, okay. Because it's a serious charge, he has to throw money at it. We're going to find that out on June 16th, but I'll be watching that. She's expected back in court during that time. And that's all I think that Yaya and them can do, is throw money at it. But it's a serious charge. I think they should throw money and at least give her some time in jail. Listen, people, when y'all pull a weapon, you better use it. And you better hope you use it right. Or if you're not ready to use a weapon completely, then don't fucking pull it. Because when you pull a weapon on somebody, that person is sitting there thinking this is it. Their mindset is, I'm going to get you before you get me. This is how people inadvertently lose their life over some dumb shit. Now, she'd have killed somebody. That's why I'm saying, if the baby died because of this situation, that's, hey. But that's not something that they be putting out. I have not seen the court papers, so I don't know. I just vaguely remember that the girl was pregnant at the time. Tay said they be oiling up when it comes to their big fish. Tay said, I just remember the scene from Menace to Society, the church scene, the hot and bothered bit. Sometimes they get hot, sometimes they get bothered, sometimes they get hot and bothered. I remember when I think it was that movie. I'm not sure, when the guy was reminiscing about soap running down the backside of a man. Yeah, everybody was looking at him like, "What the fuck?" But that's the update with Yaya, in case anybody cares. Now, the Zone, I got a bone to pick with you. I'm gonna send you this. I'm gonna send the Zone a 4-page letter, and I'm gonna seal it with a kiss. The Zone, this is partial on my 4-page letter to you. First of all, pay-per-view, wrong play. Because y'all know this Canelo and Bivol fight is pay-per-view, even if you got the Zone. That's the wrong play, the Zone. You will lose subscribers this way. Guaranteed. You came out one way and you can't go back on it. just because it didn't work the way you wanted it to work, you can't go back on it. And you're not even giving a reprieve to the people who was with you from day one. I subscribed when you first came out. I knew your agenda. You just didn't meet your agenda. And I stuck with you even when you failed. And now you're going to be like, I got to pay for a Canelo fight, which I'm not. I'll be cool with the highlights. I ain't never paying for no Canelo fight. His opponent is got to make me want to pay for his fight. Never him. Secondly, what about your day ones? The folks who was there, who blindly got with y'all when you first came out. It's a change for us too. You can't give us a reprieve or grandfather us in. You kind of setting up an environment where it's not even worth me having a subscription if it's going to be all that. We have faithfully shown, and I'm talking about all your day ones when you first came out, that we went through your ups and downs, your failures, and some of your success. You can't even give us a reprieve. So people who got the zone, this is how it's going to work. Not only do you got to pay for that subscription, when that fight comes, you have to click whatever link they got in there to pay for their pay-per-view fight. Shit ain't going to happen. I don't see you being successful with this zone. A hint to the wise should be sufficient, and shame on you for not offering a grandfather clause for the people who've been with you from day one. You can tell too. You can tell the day I got my subscription versus somebody who run and get your subscription today. You should make allowances for that. That's just a hint to you guys. If you don't see it that way, that's on y'all. I can promise you I won't be with y'all forever if that's what it is. Y'all need to rethink your position or your decision. And I need to reevaluate, do I even want to be subscribed to you? You can run me back my money. I'd pay for you. You have not put on the best of the best fights. I don't even watch you that much, but sometimes I do. And I always tell you guys on the zone, their undercard is better than a lot of people's undercard. I'm never disappointed with their undercards. Never have I ever. Be actually pretty good. And I gained some new people as a fan that I want to follow just by watching some of their undercards. But I'm not finna pay pay-per-view for you for nothing. So miss me with that. And that's just a hint, the zone. Take it or leave it. Chris Rock brother wants to fight Will Smith in a boxing matchup. Y'all know they offered Chris Rock and Will a boxing matchup. Maybe it was going to go through Triller or whatever. They was going to offer them $10 million each. Neither of them spoke on it. Neither of them accepted it or said, yeah, that's a good idea. But Chris Rock brother is like, yeah, it's on. He a little bit pissed. I get it. Chris is playing a long game. But his brother, I think his name Tony. He ain't. I ain't mad at Tony. Your brother got embarrassed, but your brother, again, it's to each his own how we feel about Will Smith's action. Now, I'm going to put this out, and this is pretty much coming up on the end of my broadcast. Damn, I'm over 3 hours. Damn, it went by quick. I'm going to ask y'all men, when will y'all learn? When will y'all learn? JoJo Diaz. Now, I know a lot of guys don't like to put out shit like this, but I ain't a guy, so I don't give a care. I'm going to say a book. JoJo Diaz is charged. He's charged, or he's going to court civilly. You got a civil lawsuit, not a criminal lawsuit. So I want to be clear, not a criminal lawsuit. For $150K for attempted coercion of a minor. If you don't know what that means, he was trying to get pussy from a minor. Okay? I don't know how y'all guys keep falling in this trap. I don't know how men do it all the time, every day, all day, every year. And men behind them don't get it. and follow into the same rabbit hole. I'm lost. I don't understand it. How many people got to go through some shit before you see that ain't what you want? How many times you got to touch the stove before you realize it's hot? He's accused of sending sexual graphic material to an underage female. ESPN reported on this. Oddly enough, that's shocking. Through social media, Snapchat. That's where it was done back in September 2020, when the girl was 17 years old at the time. Now, she also filed a criminal complaint a year later in September 21 that didn't go anywhere. So it didn't meet the merits enough to be criminalized. But even though stuff ain't criminalized, it can always be civil lawsuits waged. When she tried to file the criminal complaint, no charges was put against Diaz. Let me repeat that. There wasn't enough merit to charge him, apparently, because no charges were against Diaz. It say he used to date. They say he used to date her sister. So, and when they say it like that, then my mind says you knew who this girl was. That's the most interesting part of the whole story. So, because I'm thinking maybe he was in Snapchat and just didn't know. But hear me out, fellas. Get the fuck off Snapchat. Them little girls. Can't say it more plainly than that. You want to find women? Get the fuck off Snapchat. Is women on Snapchat? Yeah. But it's a lot more little girls on Snapchat than it is women. So you run that risk at your own peril. Don't cry about the shit later. And stop acting like you can't tell the difference between a little girl and a grown woman, because you can. We ain't buying that shit. You just perverted. That's all. Now, Diaz's father spoke up for him, claiming that it was a drunken mistake. Yeah, blame it on the alcohol. Blame it on the alcohol. Now, the plaintiff claims, the plaintiff being the girl, she's claiming emotional distress. And a lot of y'all gonna say bullshit, but guess what? You put that power in her hand by doing the dumb shit you do. So you can't cry about it. Y'all can't beat her up about it. He did that to himself. So now she want him to run her $150K. In the end of the day, that's what the fuck he got to do. He got to run that. And whatever the court feel, he got to do extra. Because she got to take him to court. That means he going to pay her attorney. He going to pay the fee. He going to pay for everything. Now, through Diaz's attorney, Jojo Diaz, they denied all allegations, because that's what all this is allegation. It's not criminal. It's civil, y'all. But Diaz gave this little girl power, who is a woman now, grown woman, because this happened back in 2020. She was 17. We're in 2022. That makes her what, 19? At least. Now, one thing I do want to bring up about Jojo Diaz, did y'all see what he said after Ryan fight? He was honest. And Kate Odobo, or whatever her name is, she tried to get him to elaborate. He caught himself. Good catch, Jojo. He spoke on, because they were all asking him, you think Ryan is ready for the top? Man, if I'm going to put it in the way that I heard it, but I'm paraphrasing. He could Jojo, fuck nah, that nigga ain't ready for no goddamn big top tier lightweight. We'll beat the shit out of him. That's how I heard it. That's not what he said. But he said, no, he's not ready. He said he don't have no heart. I was like, wow. He was straight honest. She tried to get him to elaborate. He caught himself. He fell back. I don't even want to be in the business of putting nobody down. Good catch, Jojo. That was funny because y'all know how I feel. Tego was the track coach at the local high school. He was an Uber driver on the side too. I'm just making that up, but that's how I see it. Now, oh, and I want to update that thing I put out yesterday about WBC's webpage where you can go check to see who has taken the VADA test and the results that they seem to be putting out all the time. Now, that was my first time, my first encounter. So I'm going to update and say I was wrong. They've been doing it. They just been doing it a little different. The way they got this website looked fairly new. I've seen other lists that they did. And so they've been putting out these lists here and there. But I'm saying this website that they got now, that I put the link in the chat, I think that they should do it like that. It is more clinical, it's more to the point, it's easy to access, and it's not confusing. Because them other websites, I'm telling you, I've never seen. And they look differently. I didn't even know they existed. So yes, they've been doing it. And it hasn't been a consistent every month thing. And that was my suggestion. Every month you should have an after action report, period. Full stop. Yes, we tested 20 people this month. This month we didn't test anyone. So please do not expect any results for this month. That's all you got to do. And that website, again, is user friendly. It's easy to look at. You know, its optics are good. So that was my correction. Yes, they were in the business of putting shit out. I just didn't know it because of the way and how the websites they were using. So I kept one of the pages. And I'm going to share it with y'all, I think. Let me see. Okay, so look. Let me see. Damn. I'll be here all day. So that's why I'm going to put it up here. All right. Y'all look at this. This is 2001's list of folks. Let me take down my banner. This is 2001. Y'all know I got to come with the receipts of the people. Look at it. November 21. November. Let's see if they go to October anytime soon. Let me see. I gotta go over here. Let me see. November. December. So they went back as far as November and December. So look at who they got. Of note, you see Cool Boy Step. You got Caleb Plant, Alvarez, Oscar Valdez, Fortuna, Sora, Diet, JoJo, T.O., Haney, Joseph Parker, Benavidez, Kyron Davis, Triple G, Porter, Cambosos, Cruz, Isaac Cruz, Murata, Javante, Diaz, Lomachenko, Porter, Golovkin, Devin Haney. This is all November. Murata, Comey, Better BF, Brown, Better BF, Claver, Lemieux, Figueroa, Cool Boy, Teofimo, Cambosos, Lomachenko, Comey, Haney, Brown. Let's go in December. This past December. Marcus Brown, Joseph Parker, Chisora, Golovkin, Valdez, Jojo Diaz, Devin Haney, Jojo Diaz again, Davis, Isaac Cruz, Albert Bell, Oscar Comey, Lomachenko, Comey, Lomachenko. That's the list. Now, every month I could go back and do a cursive read of every month that what they put out or something. But the point is, they were putting out lists. So when we out here in these YouTube streets, listening to all the content and creators, especially me, there's no need to guess. There's no need to speculate. You know who name I did not see? I did not see Earl Spence. I did not go back as far as August. I did not go back as far as July. But at least as far back as November, I did not see Earl Spence. You know, I read the list yesterday. I did not see Earl Spence this year. I see Urdanus Ugas. And out of anybody, Earl Spence should be on that list because he has the WBC belt. But I'm going to let y'all draw a conclusion as to what that means on your own. Again, my conclusion is keep doing what you're doing. If that's what y'all doing, keep that website up. Just to show y'all what that website looked like. Because I think I kept it up. I didn't. Sorry. It's a friendly website. I gave y'all the link the other day. PGH. He said, "You moving the goalposts, Queen. You got to tell me how I'm moving the goalposts." He said, "Bud don't own no Fox Sports Valley." I didn't ever say he owned it. Remember, I kept saying partnership or ownership. He's in partnership with them. I said, I'd rather use the word partnership. He is in partnership with Bally's. And Fox is now Bally's. PBC got fights on Fox, Showtime, and Bounce. Oh, that's old. I'm sorry. I thought you just wrote that. I was going to say, well, we going back to this. My bag, PGH. But again, y'all, you know, I'm not going to say either way. I don't know. I can't explain why Earl Spence did not make the list. Y'all ponder that. What I can tell you is Urdanus Ugas made the list and he passed with flying colors. How y'all parse that is how y'all parse that. I just told you facts. I also updated the fact that they've been doing it. I think they settled on a more optical, if that's a word, like more a website that has better optics. You know, it looks better. It seems simple. It has a standard blur on every website. It's telling you, hey, we tested this many people. These are the results of the people we tested. And these are the people we tested. I think they only put the names up of the people that they got the results from. But as far back as November, Earl is not on anybody's list for taking the voluntary, test with VADA. He may very well have. I'm not telling you he hasn't. I'm just telling you November, December, it's not on the list. I didn't see January, February, March. I showed you March yesterday. 2 lists that they came out. I'm sure they're going to come out in April. But I gave a little hint. Not that Mauricio Suleiman would listen to me. But I said, hey, even if you don't have a list that month, put that out too. Hey, this month we didn't test anybody. So do not expect any list to come out with results. Keep it current. That's how you keep things legitimate, squared away, and current. That was my only thing. You know who was on there a lot too? Tank Davis. Remember the interim belts that he recently won, which he was stripped from because he had to choose one, was WBA. And this is the WBC Clean Boxing Program, in which anybody who has a WBC belt is going to potentially receive one in a fight or is lining themselves rank-wise to contend for one, have to volunteer to be a part of that program. And volunteer and have to don't sound right, but it's their stipulation. It's a volunteer program. So if you're not volunteering, I guess you can do that. But it's part of their stipulation. And Earl Spence has the WBC belt. So for me, I would never understand why he didn't make the list. But I hold up hope that they did test him. We just ain't seen his results yet. Maybe they're gonna release his results after his fight. But it is not lost on me that Ugas is on the list prior to the fight. So you guys draw your own conclusion. Tank was on there last year and this year. And to my knowledge, Tank has never been about belts, but he volunteers. So y'all gotta ask why. The famous question of why. But I was on here too long, I think. Man, I had a lot to put out. Thank you guys for joining me. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Remember, when you know better, you do better. You make wiser decisions. Let's not be in the business of straight up lying, embellishing, using propaganda, and talking points and spin. And if y'all take anything that I was talking about when it comes to Daniel Kinahan, just because this man got his feet and his arms knee deep in boxing, he's doing it with the powers that be. And anybody who's affiliated with the powers that be are inadvertently linked to this man, not on purpose. As far as Bud being signed to PBC, there's never been any proof. I still offer my $50 Cash App to anybody who can show me proof. There's never been any proof on the MTK label that Bud is signed to him either. You know what I'm saying? So, with saying that, we look forward to this weekend. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to leave a comment. I'm thinking about that war. A comment when you watch the replay. Thank you guys for joining me, PGH. Thank you for going through the questions with me. I appreciate it, King. Thank you, Tay, for jumping in. Do that homework. Thank you, Tay. Like I said, as always, you always in here. General Big Fish, I know you listening. Thank you for coming through. You know, you got to come talk to my audience about your boy Earl. That boy Rep Earl so good. Ray Newt, thank you for always showing up and coming through and supporting the queen. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, when you know better, you do better. Peace.